What's going on, everybody? And thanks for joining us again. We're live, and we have an awesome episode lined up for you today. We've got 3 action-packed, compelling, exciting, firework, thrilling topics for you today. Starting off, we're celebrating and commemorating Jackie Robinson Day. A lot to unpack there. Something that I don't think we take enough time to appreciate. And so it's exciting when the stars align and the Rethink Tank is on a day like this where we can actually appreciate it. The second topic is going to be how a YouTuber is standing trial in the Philippines. And if you don't know, it's going to be Vitaly. And he's a provocative character to begin with. So it'll be an interesting dialogue to see where everybody kind of falls out on that one. But I think we'll be pretty consistent. And then finally, history in the making, groundbreaking with the daredevil stunt by Katy Perry and Gayle King and other billionaires taking a ride on a Bezos rocket. That's what we'll call it. Only the tip, though, made it to space. And it's historic. All female flight crew. Incredible moment in history. So, with all that being said, joining us in the Pickle Gallery, couldn't be more excited today. Ricky from Just Another Day TV. Ricky, how you doing?
I'm black, blessed, and highly favored, bro.
That's right.
We outside.
Bingo. I messed it up. Ricky knows I wasn't even supposed to call him, but he was ready.
You're supposed to go to Will.
Hey, I mess up sometimes. It's all Doug's fault. We all know that. And joining me as a co-host and the co-chair, Will Hubert, and running the keys as always, not missing any of the strokes, Dougie Fresh. And so let's get into today's episode, right, Doug?
Let's do it.
Rocking and rolling. All right, into the first topic of today. Let's commemorate an awesome moment in history.
With pinch batter Frank Keller at bat. Robinson dashes to the plate.
All right, what do we think?
It's close.
I think it's in.
And umpire Summers calls him safe on the daring maneuver. But Yogi Berra doesn't think so.
Yogi Berra of all catchers, too.
Right?
Yogi Berra.
Look at that crowd. Let's go back to that real quick.
I love seeing videos like this, though. Those old-timey ones.
So?
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Look how
all
dressed
in suits.
up. Oh
yeah,
my
I
God.
know. Such a different time.
And again, you gotta, it has to be said, even though it's going with being unsaid, totally white.
Yes, no,
Watching,
you're 100%
watching
right,
a marvel that like half of that stadium like stands against.
Yes,
and yet
100%.
And yet this is groundbreaking, and this is the moment when people say be on the right side of history. This is what they're talking about.
And everybody in that in suits right there is on the wrong side just because they're Yankees fans.
Yeah. Yogi got him. Yogi got him. And they're only letting it go.
It is funny you mentioned they're all in suits because, like, again, like that was the time. Like people like always dressed like that. But you got to think of like this is probably like 1 o'clock, like on like a weekday in the summer.
Yeah, there were no
They're probably
lights.
just
There weren't
sweating
really
their ass
that
off
many
out there.
lights back then, too.
And the clothing was like heavy duty. It wasn't
it was
some
like wool suits.
silk. Yeah, it wasn't some silk that's gonna wear out. It's like
Straight wool suit, bro. Straight
Yeah.
wool suit back in the
Well,
day.
dude, Alex, that's like when we did our Rethink Actions looking at past like videos. Dude, everyone was dressed up nice. Just walking the street, riding the bus, going to wherever. They were all in nice suits. one guy not wearing a suit still dressed nicer than any of us. All these people dress nicer than I've ever dressed for a baseball game.
Right.
I've never worn a suit to a baseball game. Sorry.
Never have, and hopefully I never do. Hopefully I never do.
Look at this. Just what a.
It is cool to see these videos, though.
Preparing for the plate on his daring.
This does remind me of the Shane Gillis bit, though,
Which is.
when he's just like, that was the day when white people stopped being cool. He's like, they have like these, he's like, because it's like Jackie Robinson. He's like, they had these all nicknames. He's like, oh, up there we got old Skippy on the mound. He's thrown to Jackie Robinson, and first pitch, where it's a home run. It's a home run. It's all over. It's all over. Their voices change.
So the reason today is commemorated as Jackie Robinson Day because it was April 15th, 1947, when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier and paved the way for the beginning of a rough but fruitful future.
Yeah.
Ricky, as we're kicking it off, do you have any thoughts? Any excitements?
Michael B. Jordan Chadwick Boseman played a hell of a role in that movie.
He really
42.
did. He really did.
So true.
You know what? I gotta be honest. It is topical. Do you think Jackie Robinson was the first DEI hire?
You had to take it there now. I wanted to celebrate.
No,
Jackie
but it is
Robinson.
a celebration. Like it is. He is the most qualified you could even ask for. He was a Hall of Famer. He was one of the best players in the pros.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? Like it's like if you really want to think, like in today's standards, that's what it'd be qualified as. Like that's what the people on the wrong side of history would be barking against. It'd be like, yeah, he's a top 5 player in the league. He deserves to be there. Absolutely
1,000%.
owning the league.
Well, I want to put a pin in that thought because it is true. There's something to unpack there. But let's flip it to the Dick Cavett show in 1972. I mean, talk about a window in time.
Mm-hmm.
How articulate. We really don't realize like the full life that Jackie Robinson lived, and being able to hear his story and reflecting upon these moments. I mean, it's truly an incredible figure.
The man who broke the color line in baseball in 1947 seems like a long time ago. He's a member of baseball's Hall of Fame, of course, and he's left baseball and become a highly combative man in a number of areas and fields, and speaks his mind. Will you welcome, please, Mr. Jackie Robinson? Is it possible that it's been a quarter of a century since you first played in the major leagues? I can't believe. Yeah, I guess I can believe it. It's on the books, isn't it?
It's every bit of that. It seems a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you think things would come as far as they have, or did you ever think it might not work?
Well, there were times certainly when we thought it wouldn't work, but with the numbers of people that helped, we certainly thought that things would go as they have now, and even a lot further in terms of the front office and the managerial role and that kind of thing. But certainly baseball has grown considerably, and we're quite proud of the role that we played in it.
It's incredible now to think of a sport that big that was all non-black.
Yes.
I mean, so many black stars in baseball now.
Well, you can't even count them today. It's amazing to me. I keep reading about certain ball players, and one day I look on television, and he's black. There's no longer a mention of Joe Blow, Negro ball player, this kind of thing, which is as it should be. I think they should be judged solely on their abilities out there, and the race shouldn't have anything to do with it.
But they always used to, of course, they mentioned it for several years. It was like, and in this corner, and a credit to his race on radio. They always used to say that, and that way you knew.
Right.
No white man was ever a credit to his race on radio. It was always, always black.
So Will was pretty clever here. One of the things that I wanted to appreciate about the video is, like, we never really get to reflect on, how articulate and how much of like a strong icon, an idol, he was and grew into being. And as we're watching this clip, Will's bringing up to me. He goes, no, he died young. And so we see here, he died at age 53. The Dick Cavett show was in January of 1972. He ended up passing of a heart attack that same year.
Heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in October.
And I'm curious if it was due to complications from possibly
stress.
not even just the stress. Like obviously he lived probably a crazy stressful life playing in that during that time, but he did serve for a few years during World War II.
Right.
And I'm wondering if maybe I don't know in terms of what branch or how much active duty he actually really saw, but you wonder if that kind of compiled into it, because you got to think like 1947, a ton of those guys came back from the war and then played ball. Like a lot of the greats did have service time afterwards, and I knew Jackie Robinson did serve during World War II.
No,
He got honorable discharge. Jackie Robinson.
He might have, yeah. Like I know, he wasn't in it through 45. Like I think at 44, so I think he went like 41 to 44, and I think maybe complications. I don't know.
well, that's why
why
even in the Dick Cavett show, they were talking about how he was taking on being more of a political figure and involving himself in more of those political scenes. That takes a stress. And also at that time in 1972, what was the Big Brother really good at doing?
Yeah.
When you started becoming a political threat, we
Punch you
could
down.
well, and so I don't know if you saw the guy in the interview with Tucker Carlson, the congressman, who says he knows about something wild that happened, and he knows about what happened in September of 2001, and he's like, they'll probably kill me, and what'll probably happen is they'll give me cancer, and it's like that's something they can do. So I'm not putting my tinfoil hat on, but it should raise an eyebrow when someone does die young. When they're a political threat to the system, I don't know. To me, it raises an eyebrow. But keeping to the theme of the greatness in this moment, the things worth reflecting on, the things worth commemorating, here's a teammate and competitor, Buck O'Neill, was on David Letterman, and he had a great story reflecting his experience with Jackie.
Did you, tell us about Jackie Robinson.
Oh, outstanding individual. And Jackie was so different than we were because we were acclimated to segregation. But not Jackie. Jackie came to the Monarchs in 1945. We'd been going to a filling station in Oklahoma for 20 years, the Monarchs. We'd never gone to the restroom because on the door it said for white men only. So Jack is there, and we played that night in this town, and the next day we go to the filling station to get some gas. The man put the hose in the tank, said, "Oh, you boys were wonderful as usual. They filled the park up. Good to see you." Jackie got off the bus, started walking to the restroom. He said, "Boy, where you going?" I said, "I'm going to the restroom." He said, "Boy, you know you can't go to that restroom." Jackie said, "Take the hose out the tank." Now the man thought then, because we got a 50-gallon tank on this side. We got a 50-gallon tank on that other side. He's not going to sell that much gas, to one customer until we got back there again. You know what he said? "You boys can go to the restroom, but don't stay long."
Comes down to economics a lot of times, doesn't it?
Of course. But the gist of that story is this. From that day on, we never got gas at the station. We couldn't go to the restroom. Yeah. We never played in a town that they didn't have a place for us to stay and to eat. Jackie said, "Listen, you're playing, you're making money for these people. This is a capitalistic society. You don't have to take these things." Thank you, Jackie.
So one of the interesting and fun takeaways, speaking of people that can push through my do not disturb. Wow.
Yep.
So the
How
nerve
important.
of people. Yeah, I love work. So one of the interesting things that you take away is, there is can you believe I'm going to say it? You're not going to believe I'm going to say it. But there is a little bit of truth to like Asiago Cortez saying, "No doesn't mean no, no means find another way." I wouldn't necessarily put it in those words, but, if you are strong to your moral compass, and this is a dangerous point, philosophy parses this apart often, but if you are strong to your moral compass, you can have faith even when your outward environment conflicts with that. If you stand to what is true, even when all the other lemmings around you are calling you the black sheep, I didn't mean to do that, but you know what I mean. And they do that. Man, that really threw me off my game. I didn't mean to do that.
Reel it in.
But if you need to go against the grain and swim against the current, because it's easier to just go with the current doesn't mean it's necessarily the right way. And sometimes the most important, the most vital, the most necessary human evolutions change for moral goodness and something that expands happiness for more people. In the long run, sometimes that doesn't occur without like strength, hardship, and the ones willing to go against it. But like I said, philosophy has opened the door to acknowledging that is a dangerous mantra, because something we also need to acknowledge is there are very few evil people through the lens of the winners, right? Through our lens that we declare evil. Those people aren't choosing evil for evil's sake. Yeah. Like the name that's been floated around a lot, AH, the guy, the main guy from Germany, he did not think what he was doing was wrong.
Right.
So here's somebody that wholeheartedly believes this is necessary, this is good. So my statement comes with an asterisk, because you can't, this is like, the divine devil's will, like just doing my will, doing me. That's dangerous, because you may not have a strong, accurate, or worthy moral compass that should be dictating the world. But at the same time, that should not take away from those that do strike gold, the ones strike oil, the ones that do actually have their finger on the pulse for truth, for goodness, for the betterment of this evolution, and had to crawl through the Danny Dufresne tunnel of crap to the end of the tunnel to actually get to that point. This wasn't easy.
No.
Every time you're around in the base, you've got somebody spitting, squawking, talking their shit, fans in and outside the stadium.
Your fans, even not even like just, like your own team's Homer fans are probably, like you said, at least 50%, if not more, 50% against what he was doing. And to show up to work every day, perform at the highest level.
Yes.
Outperform. And the thing is, too, is like, I looked it up before this, just like he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, but like you need 75% to get in. He only got 77. And I'm thinking in my head, I was like, realistically, it was probably like in the 90s, but like how many of those voters, and we've talked about it on the show, my disdain towards the MLB Hall of Fame voting, like their own personal opinion on the player takes into effect if they want to vote him in, let alone the talent. They'll even like disregard the talent, which is really a shame, but also an incredible like accomplishment and kudos for him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, knowing all those odds were stacked against you, still showed up, and he was like a non-violent individual either. Like he promoted, like was actively like, no, I will not like rise to what they're doing. I'm just going to continue playing. All those, like literally the movie 42 is such a great representation of like truly who he was and what his moral compass and philosophy was as like a ball player and an individual during that time, having to deal with all that stress, so it really is something incredible.
There's something to be said, like, straight bombs over here is saying that I hate that about baseball. Here's the shame about baseball. Mm-hmm. Baseball is such a strong sport. Like, it is America's pastime. No matter how much they keep like stunting the excitement of baseball, we're putting nets up. We're putting a batter on second base in extra innings. We're putting a pitch clock up. And while some of them are effective, we've walked that dialogue out. It's like, why'd you put nets up? Oh, because people can't keep their heads out of their phones during a game, and you're worried about lawsuits. And yet now, if a ball does squeak through, you really are getting sued. So before, you got away with, my ticket was a contract for liability. I've signed it. If I crack my face, I've accepted liability. Now that you've put nets up, you've opened the door for, if I do get hit, like it gets through that net in some squeaky way, you will get sued. So it's an interesting concept where baseball continues to cripple themselves. Like, the All-Star game was the greatest All-Star game in all of sports.
It actually mattered,
and it
too.
still does, in my opinion. Like, I still think the MLB All-Star game is the most important one.
Exactly. I'm with you. And how funny is it that they crippled it? They made it, in my opinion, but I think a good one, they made it worse. And it's still the best of the All-Star games. No one's watching the Pro Bowl. The NBA All-Star game continues to dampen. And it's like, this was the best. And so back to, for those that don't know, the winner of the All-Star game used to determine home field advantage in the World Series. And so the problem was, well, the American League doesn't lose. Yeah, baby, we dominate. That's a National League problem. Yeah. And so because we couldn't lose, we had to flip the script. And really, it's because there's a lot of money in the National League, a.k.a. look at these Dodgers. And because of that, we needed to let them have the opportunity back to steal back the home field advantage. So it's like, back to Straight Bomb's point here, it's like baseball does everything they can to cripple its fandom, and yet it's such a bedrock to American lifeblood and just American sports that, like, no matter how much they stunt it, we still come crawling back more than anything else.
Well, dude, you know what's nice about baseball, though, is it is like the only American family sport. Like, they play so many games, it's easy to go with the family. Also, it's the only major league sport where you can bring a stroller and a bag and like food and stuff, like, and you can stand in the back with the stroller and see, like, all these other stadiums and sports, they don't let you bring in strollers. They don't want you to make it a family sport.
Yeah. Let me say this. You are lucky you showed up today with good points. Those were some good points, and I'm going to let it slide. I would have cut you off. I would have shut you off. Go back to your camera. The fact that Doug showed up today with a Guardians logo in this studio,
I only have so many rules. I only have so much Indians gear, and I wore my Chief Wahoo last week.
What you got to do is I'm going to do a plug. Am I allowed to do a plug for a spot in Cleveland?
Sure.
There's Uncover Vintage in Lakewood, Ohio. They got some really reasonably priced old Indians vintage stuff. That's where I got my stuff most recently. Bought like 3 items. It was like $60 total. It fit great. A couple of them are oversized. I'm a smaller guy.
So that way,
really,
Doug,
really nice spot.
You should go there. That way, I don't have to keep you locked out of the studio the next time. I'm just watching him make a great point, and he's got the Guardians logo on his chest. I wanted to reach through the screen. I don't even have to. You're right there.
It was a free shirt. What can I say?
Now, before we get back to...
there's Doug. Doug with the free stuff.
Now, before we get back to Jackie Robinson, I do want to ask one question. What do you still currently dislike about the All-Star game? I am curious. Because I have
that
literally
that. I got to tell you, I still love the All-Star game. Your point was the strongest. It is the only All-Star game.
It's held on to its like originality.
It no longer determines the World Series home advantage. It's just a game, which I'm fine with, because at least across the highest level of sports and the highest level of competition, it is still taken the most serious as a game.
Yeah.
But because there isn't a legitimate reward on the line, the gameplay is just mildly more lax.
You want to know what I personally wish they would go back to with the All-Star game is letting the players wear their like actual jerseys and not having like a
the American League.
I really liked it when they would wear their like actual jerseys.
Well, how about this? Can I make a compromise?
Sure.
I agree with you, but actually some of my favorite years were their own team's hat. And what I think the newer,
if they want to keep the hats, like solidarity, so like
right,
I like the players are, but like you know what I mean.
But the point I wanted to make was when you look at the more recent iterations of the All-Star Game jerseys,
they are getting nicer.
Sure, but again, the point I want to make is that you have these jerseys are not as signifying for the team they came from. Whereas if you like, the point I would love to make, and I wish I could pull it up quickly, but if you go look at like the Pittsburgh Pirates All-Star season, is when it was in Pittsburgh. It was a series of black and yellow, both teams on their own iteration, but the colors showed through. So you had the Red Sox white and red on the like. The problem is you have less flavors, but they never really did just that. You're going back to like
I'm going back like 2 decades
98,
ago.
When they were in their own jerseys.
Right.
But like 2005, it was series jerseys, but it didn't stand out to you like they were losing their team's flair, because
they still had the hat and everything, like you said.
And so that's what made it fun, collecting the Pittsburgh version of the Reds jersey
Yeah.
was sweet because you had the Reds color, and I don't have any Reds gear. I want to be very clear, but I'm just using an example.
Yeah.
But again, full circle, we're still excited about the game, but it should speak to you that like you're chiseling away at a thing that was even more. Here's the deal. I do show up late sometimes anymore where, is it on? Crap. And the most important thing, the only thing my dad cares about is the announcement of the players at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Really? You're going to fall asleep. You're going to trickle off. That's really the only thing that matters. Let's go down the line, see who we got, check out the jerseys. But I do think they've lost. So when you ask me what is my gripe with it, I still enjoy it. I'm still going to log in for it, but I think they're slowly degrading. And it's still awesome.
Well, the thing is with baseball is like in basketball, we all know the All-Star game is just like a shootout, right? The Pro Bowl is a joke. Like it's completely dumbed down the sport.
The
Baseball
NFL
like
Pro Bowl is
having a guy on the mound throwing 100 miles per hour. You got to take that pretty serious. You know what I mean? Like you can't be up in the box like, hey, maybe you'll throw an easy one. No, it's 100 right down there.
Justin Verlander also is an all-star trying to impress the game.
Yeah. Like I think back to when Bieber won like the All-Star game MVP and it was like in Cleveland and it was like, man, that was such a huge event.
Well, dude, the MLB is also like they haven't really, other than taking away the stakes of winning the home field, they haven't really changed the actual game. Whereas like NFL now is Madden and touch or flag football. Like it's not even actual football, and it never was. Anyways, it was always the fat man getting to score a touchdown. No real football. And like the NBA, the only thing that really matters in that anymore is like the dunk and skill contest. Like the actual game, they did the stupid 4-team like half a game bullshit this year. Like it was stupid.
Yeah, I do like how like the home run derby. Yeah, they've changed the rules around a bit, but every year it's still so exciting. Right. Like that really hasn't gone away.
It's still true
it's
to
just
the
guys
derby.
still mashing home runs, and you love to see it.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, like at the end of it.
So let's kind of bring us back to the heart of the point, and then we could close her out. But we still got a lot to unpack here. It being Jackie Robinson Day and commemorating an important moment, not just in American history, but just human evolution. Now that we're plugging in the human hive and we're all getting connected through the interweb, these are the slow steps towards the greater future. And it was a necessary growing pain that we can only be thankful for those that actually walked it for us. But of course, no good thing goes unpunished. Had this not been a day worth commemorating, it certainly wouldn't have been a topic on the Rethink Tank today. It's just April 15th. But then when the MLB...
It's just tax day.
Sure.
It's just tax day.
Exactly. And we wouldn't have been talking about taxes either. We would just be having a regular episode. But the MLB making this a day and the community amplifying its voice makes this important, exciting, worth talking about. And the unfortunate part is kind of Will flirted with at the beginning of the topic. No good deed goes unpunished. All of the articles today are about how this isn't enough. This is nothing. Having a day commemorating, well, there's nothing worth remembering here because Trump, that guy, Orange Man Bad, was over there writing executive orders that were eliminating DEI. And so you make it a funny ha-ha comment. Mm-hmm. But the reality is that's been every article today.
Yeah.
Because it's all a bunch of people trapped in the same echo chamber, hyper-focused on our division, and enforcing a wedge that no longer existed. We were getting away with it and getting away from it. And you're further entrenching it in our society. This isn't enough. This isn't enough. Compelling people to think about it today and reflect on it isn't enough. And it's because we need to continue to pick at a scab. Therefore, it never heals. Therefore, it is a tool, omnipresent, that we can continue to use to divide you guys. And so I will be curious, Ricky, I'm going to want to get your thoughts, because when I look back at like this moment, there is an interesting photo. Oh, I thought I had it ready for us. There's an interesting photo where this is Jackie Robinson. What's the year? 1949. This is him at his home with his family. And again, this is he's sitting there with his son, Jackie Jr., and his wife, Rachel. This is a location they call home. And there's an uncomfortable conversation that can never be had. And so we could continue to beat our neighbors over the head with, sins they didn't commit. But it's like, look at this family. And when I can show you and prove to you that the same record labels that created your culture through rap are the same entities that own all the jails. And I look at a picture like this and I go, this is the guy worth everybody reflecting on, everybody talking about. This is a groundbreaker. This is a soldier in the trenches, literally and figuratively. Groundbreaking human we'll be talking about for eons. And because we allowed a system to take the dads of all of this community and destroy their homes, we pretend it's their culture. And the hard thing that no one wants to say is when all of the fight was had, do I need to go back to the video of Jackie Robinson at 53 years old on daytime, late night TV? He was saying, ask. And so, like, my frustration is they've got you fixated on a culture that's holding you back. You don't know English. You don't know grammar. It is an important tool that not only helps articulate your point and makes the groundbreaking changes that you see and need, but it also helps craft the way you think. Your ideas speak and move through that language. Take it from someone that hated English, but I had to master it because I go to law school. And now I have an appreciation for this art. It is an art. It's word math, word jujitsu. It isn't easy. And the difficult thing is when you find somebody that becomes worth idolizing and they go, look at this guy. He talks white. Why? Because he did the work? Because he can articulate himself? That isn't an easy act. And so it is a balancing act because I look at this picture and I go, what was lost here? And so I live in a world where I go on TikTok and I'm told every day, I have no culture. We have no culture. The books we read, the silverware we use, math, philosophy, democracy, I have no culture. But at the same time, I know that there was a world where this was your culture. Civilized, not killing each other en masse more than anybody else, each other. Those statistics, the uncomfortable facts, the uncomfortable realities we have to hide from. But I look at this and I go, what happened? What happened? And we're not allowed to ask that question. And I don't come from a place of hate. I come from a place of if we don't ask it, we can't fix it. How do we actually address this issue? Now, I also know I'm coming from a totally different realm. And it's easy for me to inquire because I haven't lived it. And I truly don't know. And so that's why I ask of the people that know I'm coming from a healthy and fruitful place to maybe illuminate that a bit, because I know that I often can have a hyperbolic instinct. So I don't know, Ricky, I got on a soapbox there for a second. And if you don't mind, I'd like to flip it to you and then the rest of the studio. But I want to get your thoughts on kind of everything I'm throwing out.
A lot happened. If that's what you ask, a lot happened. Because it's not my history. My culture's history is different from American history. But
Very
you
different.
can watch and read stuff. There's a lot that happened to the American Black culture that shocked it and that kind of have it where it is right now. So I think you know that a lot happened. I don't know what you.
I think I described a lot of it, right? Like, again, not only is it the psyop of
okay. Yes,
the
you did.
industry taking over.
Okay.
You have the government intervening and breaking up your homes. I mean, can we have the conversation about the new Netflix show? What is it? Adolescence. And the fact that the director goes, I wanted to break the truth, right? I'm talking about a true story. I want to break the truth and make sure that the white kid that we have playing the black kid in reality, this white kid in this Netflix show, I want him to come from a good home. You know, it's so overplayed that he would come from like a drunken family or a family that would beat him, an aggressive, unhealthy family. It's like, maybe that's because that's reality. Reality is that's what crafts someone that would do something this heinous. So truth be told, it is a travesty that Kamala Harris, who Candace Owens kind of proved isn't really who she says she is, culturally speaking. But the fact that this lady can run as the black president, and then you guys, we all have goldfish syndrome and forget that not even half a decade ago, she's cackle witch laughing over the fact that she threw all the dads in jail.
Okay, so yes, a lot of people woke up like, all right, all right. How can I say this? People around ain't victims. They don't have victim mentality. They're not pointing the fingers out at everyone. You know, they're just trying to live their life, make a better day for tomorrow. So do something for their family. That don't have shit to do with Jackie Robinson, man. Listen, that's is
But
that's a whole separate. This like whoever
is the propaganda machine when that's every article today.
Those are who I would say white baiters, rage warriors. People just want a click to make some. But I can call myself a young black man in America. As a young 30-year-old black man in America, we ain't going for that shit no more.
Wait, are you saying we're not young anymore? Are you making a declaration here?
Whoa, 30 is young.
You just
okay,
acquired unk status, man. I think
no, 30. I'm big bro. I'm big bro status.
You just gave it to yourself, man.
I'm big bro status. 30 is still young. Because if I live another 30, that's a nice full life right there. Okay, with all this puffing and all this sipping, that's a nice full. 30 is young. If I die tomorrow, everybody gonna be like, "Damn, he died young." It's young.
Hell, we look at Jackie and say the same thing, right?
See, 53 is young.
Yeah.
So, and heart disease. Look, some of you can correlate. Heart disease is still one of the leading factors that's killing African Americans today.
Yeah.
So it's still. Look, I just want to make this point. Shout out to Branch Rickey for breaking down the barrier and putting Jackie Robinson in Dodgers uniform. He freaking did something that was needed. He saw beyond skin color, beyond tone, and saw a human being, saw other people as human being, and that can develop the game in a better place. He did it. Congrats. We can't forget about Branch Rickey. It's Jackie Robinson Day, and there's a lot to do with Branch Rickey, a white man that did that. Like, he ain't had to, and he put his own name and own reputation on the line, took a lot from it based off the movie, took a lot for it. And look where Jackie, he has a day now. So let's not forget Branch Rickey on this day. If we're trying to break the divide, let's not forget the white man too. All right.
They struggle to put him in the Hall of Fame. They struggle to put him in the Hall of Fame too.
Yes.
Seriously? Yeah. No, I'm telling you, like I very, very much think that they had a hard, like he got in first ballot, but it was like he barely got in, and he was like a very accomplished manager of a baseball team. Like Terry Francona is going to get in first ballot, and he very well should.
Because if Jackie washed out, if Jackie washed out, it would have been
right.
You know what I'm saying?
One of the biggest gambles in baseball because he believed in it.
Can we acknowledge that, like Jackie Robinson? We just played that black and white video of him playing. Right? It's like when you look at this, the fact that this guy was able to outplay, like. He's within the same conversation as Barry Bonds and Babe Ruth and like what are they eating? He doesn't have a personal trainer and a dietitian and a weight room and Shohei Ohtani vitamins. Like this guy is just natural juice. And so again, talk about having an eye for talent. And so again, you're looking at it. Here's the interesting thing, like an aspect worth reflecting on. You have an entire Negro league, and this general manager is scouting an entire league to pick the one guy I'm putting it all on. You get one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure standout MVP is going to stand out beyond but based on how he breaks the ceiling and then very quickly damn broke, and all these other teams are like, we're tired of old. What were some of the nicknames Shane Gillis was giving them?
He's just like old Mickey on the mound.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm done with old Mickey and old tube socks.
You know, and
like,
that's the thing too, is like Jackie was no like power hitter. Like he was just a very like all around hitter,
runner,
like,
fielder.
He was your typical spark plug player, but it's. I think of like the articles written today, and it's like we need to do more for it. It's like the entire league has completely retired the number, rightfully so, 42, and they get to honor it on this one day a year. Even if you don't know or keep track of the year, you can tell what day of the year it is just by they're all wearing 42. It's Jackie Robinson Day.
Yes,
that's how impactful this was.
And you know what? Let's do it. Let's close this baby out. How cool of a moment! Here's. How cool is it? Here we are.
Wait, what players won? I can't recognize him.
Shohei
without their
Ohtani's
numbers.
the giant one.
I know he's the only one I can recognize.
He is one big guy, though. My
He's
God,
huge.
He is huge.
He's making baseball so fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's like, if it wasn't for Jackie, it's like, at what point would think of all the Dominican players in the league? They weren't in the league before Jackie,
right?
That's how big
no
of a
Jose
gamble that was. Yeah, exactly. Look at the current state of baseball. It all started with one man, and it's like to then be like, you got to do more for it. It's like I can't think of an individual player celebrate more, and it's like rightfully earned too.
So speaking of it, do you know who started this trend? 42.
Honestly, no.
Ken Griffey Jr. went to the Reds, went to the MLB commissioner and petitioned him to allow him to put Jackie Robinson's number on his jersey just for the one game on Jackie Robinson Day, and so it kind of solidified not only the day itself, but then other players started liking that trend, and very quickly it became the MLB latched onto it and became a league trend.
And what's cool about that too is it's like you see like baseball players, they have a love for history of the game. Like that's just a love and admiration for like what the current state of the game is and the people that came before it.
So just at the end of that clip here, they're bringing out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as well to take part in this.
He's a very tall
he's frail,
man.
but look how huge he is.
So tall.
I know he's older now, but like, does he really have trouble walking?
It seems he's aged.
It's like, he's got to be in his 80s. He's definitely in his 80s for sure.
But again, you're looking at another pillar of sports,
right,
and civil development,
right.
There's a famous video of Muhammad Ali in front of Congress, and he's at a long table, and with him is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Jim Brown.
That's cool,
amongst other great pillars of
great athletes during the civil rights time.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm glad, Ricky, you packaged it perfectly in keeping us grounded in the importance of today. It's sad that we live in this echo chamber propaganda machine that pushes us to get lost in faux realities. There's nothing but excitement for today. And they're saying you shouldn't be celebrating. Right. It's like, Ricky, wrapping thoughts, please.
I got a question. What more can they do? They do scholarships.
Yeah.
They retire the number. They wear it. They acknowledge it. They make sure his name live on. Like
I think the white lady writing for the Washington Post is not going to be satisfied until all of the white men collecting an MLB check bend over and take 24 lashings in the middle of every diamond.
Okay. All right. Maybe not that. I was just going to say
that's what they want.
It got too far, bro.
What'd you say?
I just think she wanted to make today a little bit about her.
Yeah, and she did.
And she did.
The white
She
lady
really
made
did.
it about her.
She really did.
It's Jackie Robinson's day. All we want to do
And it's a shame
is
that
wear his number and commemorate. I want to watch it. Do you know how cool it was watching a 20-second play.
Mhm.
I got to see, and it wasn't even him batting.
Have you ever gone
He's
back?
already on third. He's stealing home. And we get to live in this moment and get excited. What more do you want?
Have you ever, if that's something that interests you, you can go back and like look up like full games, with like the commentary and stuff,
Oh,
and like
that's
you can hear the
fascinating.
crowd. So when you go back and like look at the Jackie Robinson games, you hear the crowd. Like you'll hear
Ooh.
people. Yeah, like it is uncomfortable, but it is like this was the reality in which he was living, and like literally the barriers he was breaking. Considering today, when you watch it and you look at the current state of the game, it's like my favorite player is Magusta, and it's like he never would be in this league if it wasn't for Jackie Robinson, and he's playing right now wearing number 42.
Home run pitch, home run pitch, home run pitch. The 3-pitch.
Gotta love him.
Gotta love it. That's our guy.
And
That's our guy. Build him a statue.
I'm glad you picked this as a topic because it is important, and it is coincidental that it does happen to land on the day we're doing a show, but it's an important
we
topic.
won't get to celebrate it again for another 7 years.
It's an important thing in United States history for like sports because you got to think it's like it started with baseball and then Jim Brown with football, and then like in basketball you had Wilt Chamberlain, tons of greats back then, Bill Russell, that don't get necessarily appreciated much in the modern age, but it's like these were guys that were really pushing the boundaries back then that paved the way for what the games are like today.
I love that. Ricky, any other rapping thoughts before we close it out? And then I'm flipping it to Doug, and who knows what we're getting.
All the legends get their love, man.
Mhm.
They may have been plumber after a game, but they get their love,
Mhm.
especially in baseball. Because Babe Ruth looked chubby to me, like a chubby butcher. Like so like he gets all the love.
He gets all the love, and he'd be like a
All the
0.5 hitter today.
Everybody's really dunking on him for that.
Well, it's just a difference in the game, right? It's like you look at like LeBron.
He
against, like,
also wouldn't be a pitcher.
no, like you wouldn't. You look
Like
at
Shohei Ohtani being a batter and a pitcher is
Right.
that much bigger because then Babe Ruth would barely be a batter, let alone he certainly wouldn't be a pitcher.
but it's like you got to have the appreciations for the individuals that came before you because the game is going to like. We're talking about baseball right now and sports right now. It's like in 50 years, guys could be throwing 110 miles. We'll look back and be like, yeah, remember when they were throwing like 95, 100? It's like now it's even flying faster.
Our great grandkids will be like, we're just so glad they let the syringes back in the game. They needed that.
That's what I'm saying. You'll be like, how did you guys live it without it? You're like, every year
We talked about
Every
it. We
year loved
longed
it,
for
dude.
it. I longed for Barry
Remember those-
Bonds. The little dude came out looking like Peter Parker and then just walked out the Hulk like nothing changed
Dude,
since the Pirates.
Dude, it's like no medical staff to help him out, just porterhouse steaks and beer. Next day, 3 for 4, 3 home runs. No big deal. No big deal.
What's crazy is I'll never forget that year where he was breaking the record.
Mhm.
And like people were showing up in the stands with giant banners with it was like 6 seats long, just a poster of a syringe. And it's like, guys, stop. We like this.
guys. Barry's up the bat. Let him go.
Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame, man.
Don't get me
Yes!
started. Don't get me started.
Okay.
And Doug, who else?
Rick
No Pete Rose this time?
Oh, I think P. Rose. P. Rose.
Pete
should
Rose,
definitely
yeah.
be
Pete Rose, I
right.
don't want them to put in now, just because they didn't put him in when he was alive.
Yeah, I was
That
gonna say
bothered me
now
so
it'd be a
hard.
little
I
like.
know, but would it be a baseball talk if Doug didn't shout out Pete Rose in the Hall?
Pete Rose should be in the damn Hall of Fame.
He
No one's-
should be.
No one's breaking that record. No one's breaking Bond's
Nope.
record. No one's breaking Cal Ripken's record. Like these are records that'll never be touched, and 2 of them are not in the Hall of Fame. And to this day, I hate these bean pushers that are voting for this stupid.
And then
league.
here's Aaron Judge. Hold my deer antler spray. Watch.
yeah, and he's great.
Watch me.
He's the modern day Barry Bonds.
That's right. That's right. All right. So closing out the topic, Doug, any rapid thoughts before we get into our next topic here?
Just that, speaking of Robinsons, in 1975, the Cleveland Indians hired Frank Robinson as player manager, first African-American manager in the league. So another Robinson, but Cleveland history.
I love that. Cheers to Doug.
You know what?
See?
Sometimes you go to Doug and
I'm-
he gives out a gem.
I'm letting the Guardian shirt slide.
We call that a web.
We
gem.
only let Indians gear in the Rethink Tank studio, but somebody had to push the buttons today. All right. Our next topic today. I don't know how familiar you are with YouTuber Vitaly. I'm going to take a
Is that how
stab
you
at the
pronounce it?
Russian.
Is it Vitaly or Vitaly?
I'm going. It is Vitaly. It's not.
Okay.
It's not like the Vitaly. But I'm gonna take a stab at the last name, Zadorvedetsky. And what's funny is all the articles are saying Russian YouTuber, but he's been domiciled in America for quite some time. And what's interesting is as soon as this topic came up and we're preparing for today, I looked at Will and I'm like, oh my God, I remember deep in my phone, I had a photo because we did a segment on him way at the beginning of the show running for the 2015 election. He stormed a Cavs game. Do you see the C behind them?
Probably because the RNC was in Cleveland.
Yes, you're catching on, Dougie H. So he storms the Cavs game, and across his chest, Orange Man Bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did a little snippet on him.
At least you spelled it right.
Yeah, he was able to figure that out. Kudos. But one of the things that stood out to me was he did like baity topics or baity content where it's really just him causing havoc, being harassing people, being provocative. And so much of it is less entertaining and just more, I can't look away like a train's about to crash. Yeah. You're just like, oh my God, a tragedy. But then he started to win me over recently. An endeavor I will boldly support, and you could write papers on this one. Go ahead and grab the news. I bless you, Douglas. Bless your soul. I very much support, how would we say this? Minor attracted persons fishing. And this guy turned his kick streams into just catching creeps. And again, there's a line. I love the pursuit. Batman getting bad guys off the street. But also, you're not Batman.
you're just a guy. You don't even have a mask and a cape.
Batman's just a guy.
Well,
he's got a mask.
But you're also not rich enough to have an Alfred. So my other problem is,
or a Robin.
You're not. Yeah. Well, if you had a Robin, you'd be slapping yourself. But some creepies there, Batman.
Whoa.
Nobody's asking the right questions.
Where's Adam West when you need him?
Yeah, exactly. With Robin. But he would take it a little too far. Sometimes, would get physically aggressive with these people. And it was kind of like, ooh, like you're fighting for the right team in the wrong way.
He was live streaming these, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And somehow like kicks like, if you say the weird way of saying cigarette, we're going to get mad. But if you slap around a minor attracted person quite a bit, we can look the other way. I don't know. I couldn't make sense of it. But he was having famous people on his streams, like Jinxie. Jinxie's like, I'm going on Vitaly tomorrow to catch me some creeps. And you're like, whoa.
You're like, whoa, way to branch out in your career, man.
You know, it's out here fighting the good fight. So I kind of just let it go. Well, he's making headlines recently because he was just arrested in the Philippines, and he's really like becoming an adverse figure against all of Philippines. Like the congresspersons are coming out, diplomats, the president, they're all like, we aren't standing for this. So we're going to dip our toe in the pool because a lot of the content that has gotten him in trouble is content that would get us in trouble. So we're going to do our best to avoid those videos. And Will, you said you were familiar with this one. In my opinion, this is enough to emulate the whole point. Throw away the key in just this one alone. But just know that there's more severe videos that we're also straying away from.
Follow me.
Wait.
I need toilet, please, toilet, please. I'm about to take a shit. Hi, caca.
Yeah.
No. This is not how you make the burger. Show me how you do it.
What?
Sorry,
Dude
folks.
is bold.
Yeah. I love in the Philippines, they got McDonald's spaghetti, though.
Oh, dude, like European McDonald's have crazy menus.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the manager. My name is Vitaly. McDonald. Ron McDonald is me. The manager told me to cook. We need some salt and pepper.
Only an
So
American.
maybe look for it. All right.
No. Yahoo News says Russian YouTube.
Salt. Give me salt.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Russian American.
Can I have salt?
Yeah, exactly. Playing their game for once, dude.
I can't believe that woman's helping her. Or helping them.
Dude, they're petrified.
Dude, yeah, there's a camera there, man. They do not want to
Making
screw
a
up.
meal.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. Dude, speaking another language.
I'll pay. Oh my God, he gives it to someone. Oh no, he didn't.
Holy shit. Try.
No. So, that's the impression you make across the world. And I'm not a big Ethan Klein fan. Try to stray away from anything that has to do with that guy. But here's him introducing. We were able to get this from the H3 podcast. I have a very hard time finding the streamer's name, but we have a streamer here that confronts Vitaly as he's going viral with all these crazy incidents in the Philippines, kind of forewarning him. And had he taken this warning at this time, he probably could have gotten out of the Philippines with his freedom. But again, kind of like to Ricky's point, the Russian American, catch the hat he's wearing as he's causing havoc. What were you going to say, Ricky?
And the guy was trying to protect himself, because him coming there and doing shit like that, it's putting everybody in danger. Like, somebody might see an American in the streets and be like, yeah, I'm just going to get one because they come to my country effing around.
It's true. So, again, an interesting confrontation that had he heeded the warning, probably would have saved him.
Wait, do you think it would have been
Living in the
different if
Philippines.
he said he was Canadian? Because not a lot of people tend to like Americans.
Here's the problem. Just let the video roll.
Nah, Doug, if
Clearly
you're an asshole,
is
you're an
American.
asshole. I think
This
that's very
bro is not
international.
passing as a Canadian. All right, H3 podcast.
Some American living in the Philippines stream sniped him and called him out. Like, this guy chewed him out. It was pretty good.
Why are you asking you why even make that content? Genuinely.
This guy was trying to save his life. If he just hopped on a plane after this confrontation.
like I'm speaking up for a large majority of people.
Shut the. Do whatever I want. What are you gonna follow me?
I'm not gonna follow you.
Yo, I swear to God, bro.
A real conversation.
Man, I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to have a conversation with you, bro.
That's fair. You don't want to have a conversation with reality. You
want to have a conversation with reality? What have you done in your life that's positive, bro? What have you done? Well, show me proof.
I'm not a lol cow online fucking with people.
Oh, so you came to press me, yeah?
No, I came to have a genuine conversation.
And your genuine conversation, what? I'm telling you exactly what's going on. Hey, what? What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna tell your viewers that you guys are better than this. You don't have to watch people and putting them down.
And squaring up like a psycho.
You need to lift people up for a living.
And what do I do? Yeah, you haven't watched my own vlog.
He acting like he about to do something, but he's not.
Right. Yeah.
Because the guy was ready. The guy was willing to throw hands with him, and then he started walking away.
Yeah.
Everybody, you're a little piece of shit.
Perfect, amazing. Jesus loves you too.
I like how he smiles as he says you're a piece of shit.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do?
I guarantee you're not gonna knock.
Yo, back off.
Damn, he's getting.
What are you gonna do about it?
He's giving it right back.
You came with security? If I didn't have this camera right now,
I don't have security either. I'm literally just as big as you.
Okay,
You
cool.
don't need to solve shit with violence, bro. Words are.
I'm trying to walk away from you, and you're trying to follow me, so you're harassing me.
I'm calling you.
He's trying to walk away. He hasn't moved a foot.
Yeah. Right.
Like, he's still standing in the same spot.
So this may come as a surprise to you folks, but it resulted in his arrest. Let's take a look at his what we would call his arraignment, as he's learning about his charges, and would then follow learning that he ain't leaving. This is going forward.
Not to cut you off. Was that video taken in the Philippines or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So an American living in the Philippines
okay.
stream sniped him and was like, dude, stop what you're doing. You're causing havoc.
Okay.
And, you're supposed to be raising people up.
Mhm.
So
No, I got that. I just
want
want
to
to get
see
the context.
you want to see what's up for trial. And again, something I say as a theme is the people that are there are usually meant to be there. Take a look.
Wala ako, mga World Cups ang talaga na sila-sila.
He thinks it's a joke.
Wala pa, i-elevate lang sa World Cup yan. Pero we have a backlog of 1,300 cases from 2016.
Making faces.
Philippine justice system is no joke. They'll like execute him for something, you know.
Yeah.
So,
how old is this guy? Looks like he's in his 40s. He's literally our age.
Seriously? Yoked. But also,
the secretary, if you have some closing statements to give out.
So I got one more from the hearing. Watch. They're reviewing the evidence. Watch what he does after one of his clips. First off, not one of the clips we're showing. So listen to it and assume why we're not showing it to you. And then watch his reaction. He literally claps in his handcuffs. He literally,
what a tool. He claps for himself.
The clip. Well, for the non-TikTokers in my studio, that that you hear at the end of is signifying that they're playing a TikTok. So they're playing his TikTok. As soon as it ends and you hear the bloop, he claps for himself in his handcuffs. That's insane.
What a tool.
And so again, it's like lock him away, throw away the key. It's crazy that this guy was just, boom, right here. Fafo.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And I think this should be a bonding moment across all aisles and all streams of life. We should agree that there's no place for running into a McDonald's and terrorizing the people, just the workers.
Dude, why can't he be like Speed and goes to these countries and respects their culture and actually
becomes
wants
a part
to,
of the culture?
Yeah, wants to
bonds with
actually
the
like
people.
learn and like kind of get like their experience, you know, and you like exactly what that individual who stream sniped them said, like lift people up, not just like lift people up, but like lift these cultures up, you know, show like a side of them that we don't really see often. And instead it's like you're clapping at your own TikTok. Like what a bizarre, that's the hubris of like an American. And I get it, Russian American, whatever, however you want to describe it, but like what a ridiculous level of hubris.
I cheers you for probably making the strongest point of the whole segment here, which seriously look at iShow Speed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what's sad, and this is the biggest reflection we should make. To get the audience he has, that dude was acting psycho.
Oh,
like
yeah,
if you
I've
go
known
back
this
like
guy,
5-10 years ago, now quickly fans are going to jump in and go, he was 17. It's like, yeah, but also acknowledge while we give him the pass because he was 17, that's what curated the audience. So no matter how hard we build, we work all week to show up in a studio and grind out a few hours every Tuesday. Don't miss a Tuesday. Every Tuesday. Being real. Just talking about these legitimate topics that you're competing with, Fox and CNN and everything else, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just go running through the streets of Ireland, pieing old ladies, you are the biggest kick streamer. You're the biggest Twitch streamer. And it's like, so the incentive for that depravity, the incentive is there because you guys tune in. You guys don't tune in for the thought-provoking real dialogue. This isn't what you want. You want iShow Speed going up to a random person. Ah! But here's why I still think you made the greatest point of the day is because the iShow Speed that he has evolved into, that he's been allowed to become, because now the audience is there. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go scream in an old lady's face because the audience is here and now I can do me. And you're seeing who the real iShow Speed is.
Yeah.
And he is a truly fruitful icon.
Yeah.
So now I look at him and go, that's a guy I like being a diplomat for us. That's a guy I like going to these countries and representing the Western world. And he's fun. He's funny. He truly does connect with the kids, and he's damn good at trolling people. Like some people think it's being mean. Like, dude, he was in China just this recent stream series, and this guy's like, please come to my house and my grandma will make you dinner. And he's like, dude, get in. And there's like millions of people just like pushing and stuff. He's like, get in. And the guy's like, oh, let's open the door. And he's like, dude, get in and we're going to your grandma's house. And and now he's trying to run after the car and he's trying to jump in. After he tried jumping in, he's like, no, dude, I'm kidding. So it's like, he does stuff like that. He knows how to have fun. And part of the audience that he's built, they're in on it.
Yeah.
They're there knowing that this is the guy we signed up for. And it just continues to snowball. So I love that comparison because what you're seeing is Vitaly. It's kind of like you take a sip of the Kool-Aid and it of depravity, and you get to where you need to be, and then you can be you and kind of build in that own space. But if you get addicted to that Kool-Aid, the depravity, and the followers and the growth that comes with it, which is exponential because we love depravity, that can become all of you.
Yeah.
And it's futile. It is a slippery slope that will guide you to your grave. It's one thing to paint Trump sucks on your chest, streak across the Cavs stadium as many people have done in all across sports. But then that wasn't enough. And now you're continuing to grow.
and now you're possibly going into prison in the Philippines.
In another country where you're not going to have nearly the rights and safety.
I hope he does get prison time. That would be hilarious.
Well, it's funny you mentioned.
Hold on, real quick, Doug. Beyond it being hilarious, couldn't we agree that's what needs to happen? Like, is it funny or is it that?
I think it's justice.
Bingo.
I agree with Doug. I think it's justice.
You know what videos disgusted me that kind of run in the same vein? Do you remember when there was that trend of people going to like their local grocery store and opening
ice
cream
my God,
and
disgusting
them and putting them back and all? It's like, but it works.
It works, yes.
So what does it say about us?
It's like the
what does it say
thing.
about the
We're
fact
sheep.
that it works?
We're all sheep, man. We just follow.
It doesn't work.
I just
it doesn't work.
What do you mean?
Because they got that one clip, and that's it. We haven't heard. Tell me one person that got famous off licking a grocery. All of us found that nasty, and we never followed that person. We didn't think of these people as regular, mental, capable people in society. Name someone that we follow from that era.
Yeah,
but also, Ricky, not to contest your point, but like I do agree, like no one really followed them doing that trend.
Yeah.
That was just one specific trend. Like there are other trends that individuals were doing that. Yeah, maybe they popped off.
But
because they
those people that follow like the pranks and stuff, they grew their audience and stuff. Those people that just literally went and got that one viral clip,
a Minecraft video from last week.
They ain't going nowhere.
Something.
But the people that did the pranks, they were constantly doing it, thinking about innovative ways to do the new prank and up the other prank. Those TikTokers, they probably got charged. They're probably on probation right now, for all we know.
I hope. They'll just be licking ice cream.
A lot of them got charged.
So to complete the report here, Vitaly was accused of unjust vexation, alarm, and scandal, attempted theft, and harassment. He stole an electric fan, a tricycle. He faked business reviews and jumped on a moving jeepney. A jeepney is this crazy-looking bus. Arrested on April 3rd. They're also trying to find the identity of his Filipino cameraman who may also face charges. So bringing it full circle, my wrapping thoughts are there is this reflection on not only Vitaly himself, but the audience curated through this. And it's kind of like, you know, the temptation of the forbidden fruit. It's like one bite tastes good, and look at all of the endorphins and great accolades I get from this. But then to keep it going, like Ricky said, nobody is going and following the ice cream liquor beyond that. But people are following the YouTube vlogger who vlogs, I'm gonna storm the Cavs game. And then he does. And then the next time it's, I'm gonna, you know, run through a McDonald's restaurant. And the problem is those, look at
do you remember Machine Gun Kelly in Ohio before he like broke out, did the flash mob on Twitter or on like Facebook or something at South Park Mall? He like posted on social media and a bunch of people stormed the food court there. You know, and that got him on the news. Everyone was talking about him. He got walked out, arrested, out within an hour, no charges, you know, but like he got attention.
Now he's married to Megan Fox.
Yeah, good for him.
It works out for you.
Good for him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying.
Other times you end up in a Philippine prison. Sometimes it don't work out.
I think he's smarter than that, though. To be honest, like how dumb are you?
I think that wasn't his only bit. I think his bit was music. He was just, you know, this Vitaly. It doesn't sound like he has many talents other than causing a ruckus.
Yeah,
ruckus.
Seriously.
That's the thing. Yeah, Vitaly never grew. He just stayed in the prank and the shock value. He never grew, like as Alex said. Speed is growing with his audience. He stopped. You know what I mean? He never grew. He came back with the PDF thing, but some of those were fake. He was paying people.
Are any of you guys familiar with Remy Gaillard?
The music guy?
No. So this guy was like, dude, 76 million views, 81 million views, 27 million views. This is like old YouTube.
Who's that?
Back when we were in grade school, this was like top of YouTube charts. And he did Mario Kart through the streets where they all dressed up as Mario Kart.
I know who you're talking
about. Oh my God, I remember that.
As Pac-Man and ran through a grocery store. One of the ones that he did was he was a devil on a golf course, and he would steal golf balls and put them in a tiny little basket tied to a giant air balloon and throw them in the air, and then the golfers are like chasing him and going crazy.
I don't remember that one.
He did one.
I might go back and look that one up.
Where he dressed up as a snail and just was like a snail in the middle of a street. He dressed up as a kangaroo and like kicked these golfers into a lake. Like, dude, just out here causing havoc. And did you hear the numbers? 76 million views.
Oh my God, I remember the kangaroo ones.
Yeah. 7.4 million subscribers. And so
he'd kick those people into a lake and they just slowly get out and start chasing him. And he's like 100 yards away already.
If you haven't seen it, you should watch it because they are some of the fun.
They really are old school, like archived YouTube too at this point.
Yeah. So that being said, there's a dangerous role you can fall into, which is this is all you are. And unless like you get your kick, like I love doing these talks. I love hanging out with Ricky, you guys, and the folks in the comments section and everybody joining the dialogue. This is what makes it worth it. This is what makes it fun. If you get your kicks off just causing chaos in society, one, you know, then this is your niche and you found your role. And I guess that isn't a problem. You could just keep doing this forever. But also, we probably don't want that. Like, we don't want you. So the scary part is if this guy doesn't, like, I Show Speed was able to transfer into something else because he has the talent, the character, the personality to do so. Vitaly clearly doesn't. It's either I'm streaking on the stadium or, you know, through the stadium, or I'm slapping a PDF file, but it isn't like I'm doing it all. And, you know, and then I can't do Joe Rogan. I'm not going to be Joe Rogan. So he doesn't have that ability. So he just has to keep doubling down. Now I got to go harass somebody that's making, do you think the Philippines have minimum wage? Like, what do you think a Philippines McDonald's spaghetti flipper is making? And this dude just totally ransacks the place. And again, that's all you can do.
Could you imagine if you tried to do that at like a McDonald's here or like any fast food joint here? The idea of like just someone letting someone walk back there and start cooking.
They ain't letting
like that's
it
how
happen.
terrified those people were. They were like, I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah,
like who is this obviously not Filipino man walking back here cooking these noodles now? Try doing that at any fast food place in this country.
You're gonna get beat.
That is what was
The
Two-way
workers
rights are
will
real.
beat you.
that was the implication. All right, Ricky, what are your rapping thoughts?
So Johnny Somali, Vitaly, right?
Hey.
They're choosing these soft countries to go to and ruin it for everyone. Like our boy Silent right now is in South Korea. You know what I mean? Like they're making a bad stigma of like people just with a camera. They don't know if they're streamers or not. I feel uncomfortable if I go to like South Korea now and take out my camera and record and trying to vlog because I feel like people gonna look. I'm black, like Johnny Somali. He's in jail. He's been on the news all over as a streamer, and it's making it bad for everyone. But they picking these soft countries. Like these people are polite. I'm not saying they're soft as in they won't fuck you up, but they're polite people. They go to Jamaica, go somewhere in Africa, go somewhere in the Middle East and do this nonsense and see if you're going to even get up there to even freaking be presented for court because they know what they're doing. They know they don't have nothing else to offer to the audience other than chaos, as y'all been saying. So they deserve everything they're getting. Vitaly deserve everything. I hope he get at least 10 years in jail. Because why? You have all the money, all the fame. You could have branched out in any way, but you decided to go do this nonsense. It doesn't make sense.
I agree. Will, what are your rapping thoughts?
You know what? I mean, your career's got to end at some point. I didn't think he probably didn't think it would be the Philippines, but
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be a cave in the Philippines.
I like Ricky's point though. Why don't you go to like the Middle East and try this? Like, why not?
Yeah,
make friends with ISIS. Go out there. Go.
I'm sure it'll work. Why don't you go home? Do it in Russia.
Yeah.
And who was I thanks to Straight Bombs who dropped it earlier. Fafo.
Yeah, Fafo. That's what
go
he did.
home and do it.
And the thing is too, is like just like watching that American hubris during like his like arraignment, and it's just like
not even American either.
Yeah, like Russian American, however you want to describe him. Regardless if he's not American or not, he sure as hell acts American. He sure as hell acts.
Yeah, but
American.
he acts so like cocky. A douchey like, American that I want to punch in the face.
You know, just like, what are you gonna do to me? We're gonna put you in jail for 10 years.
And then he claps through his cuffs.
And we couldn't see that TikTok, but whatever was going on in that TikTok, it sounded awful.
Yeah,
it sounded like someone was
screaming bloody murder, and he's like,
it sounded like someone was being waterboarded, and he was just like, views. Insane behavior.
Dude. Yeah,
insane literally criminal behavior.
And back to the bigger point, it's the pattern. All right, we now understand the zebra and its stripes. This is who you are.
And the thing is, you mentioned like, when I brought up Speed, you're like, yeah, he used to kind of be a little bit outrageous. And they were like, oh, how do you say it? Vitaly?
Yeah.
Vitaly?
Yeah.
Vitaly. He used to be like that when he was 17. It's like, yeah, well, it sounds like he's like that in 35. And that's even weirder, dude. I can forgive a 17-year-old to a certain degree, but like, you're in your mid 30s. Do you have nothing else?
No.
Nothing else better to do? And then when I heard when you mentioned they're looking for the cameraman now. I was like, he probably paid this dude just on the street. Was like,
definitely
here's your money.
Showed up in the Philippines. Was like, you would record me the whole trip, and he's like,
and you
know,
then
he's in the middle of the McDonald's, like, what the fuck are we doing?
I hope that guy gets in no trouble.
Yes.
Like, I hope he gets in no trouble. I hope he's smart enough to got like a 1099 and be like, he contracted me, and I didn't know this is what I was doing, and now. Please, I don't know him. I don't know this man. I kind of know this man, but I'm not associated with this man.
I ate none of the pepper spaghetti.
Those people were so polite. I'm just thinking,
that's
like, if you tried to do that, I'm thinking of like
sir, please no.
I'm thinking of the McDonald's I go to on my lunch breaks at work, where I work. Not a shot. You just walk back there.
No, lots of shots. Actually.
Lots of shots.
Lots of shots. So many shots, actually.
And then for him to be such a hubris prick about it during his arraignment. Like, I get it. He's not American. He is so American, it hurts. He's actually he acts more hubris as an American than even I do.
Yeah.
And I'm born and bred here.
And he's like, I took a boat
He literally didn't even wear a suit to his arraignment, and he's clapping with handcuffs on. I don't ask for much. I ask to dress professionally if you're being arraigned, because you should probably make at least an impression. And I also expect you to wear a suit if you're asking for billions and billions of dollars to be sent to your country.
My vote, make him Putin's problem.
Yeah.
Putin's problem.
No, don't even make it Putin's problem.
No, because then we'll end up trading the merchant of death for a women's basketball player.
Oh, Doug.
Dude, there's no way.
Doug, not on Jackie Robinson Day, Doug. Doug.
There is no way they would trade that man for anything we have. That'd be the one thing our two countries would agree on. Putin would be like, he will be taking care of you.
Yeah.
He will be taking
Turn him off like light switch.
Where is he? The woods.
The woods.
The woods.
Put him on the train, send him up there.
Dude.
10 years later, you see him, and he's like, you'd see him, he'd be like rail thin. He'd look like Adrian Brody in The Pianist. He'd be like, oh my God, I haven't eaten in 10 years.
Dude, you're going to see him running through another McDonald's. How'd he do that? And he has just one giant scar across his eye. The gulag.
That would honestly, at that point, I'd be like, he deserves to be out.
Yeah,
like,
evil Morty, evil Vitaly. We deserve it.
You know,
at this point.
This is quite the character arc. He's actually tripled down now, but now he's more Russian. He's embraced the Russian in it. That would be exciting.
That the MAGA hat makes more sense. Now.
So, Jackie Robinson Day. So, I guess my closing point is I'm with you. Lock away, throw away the key. I've known of Vitaly for some time, like longer than this video. This isn't my first iteration of him. And every single time I see him, I'm always like, this is what he does. Like, he's still doing it. In fact, he's still doing it. And now it looks like it might stop. And I'm like, finally, someone stop this madman.
Doug, rapid thoughts.
Yeah, basically got to agree with Will. Like, this dude is insane, so it may be good for him to serve some time in a Filipino prison, especially because it's not an American prison. Like, I assume we treat our prisoners a little bit better than theirs, so he should have some fun.
Dude, if he did his life right, he could have been on, like, the newest version of Jersey Shore.
Oh my God, I could see that, Will. Oh my God,
like he looks like a Jersey guy. He looks like a Jersey guy, but he's Russian apparently. Sorry, Doug. I didn't
Gym Tan Laundry, yeah.
But instead, it's going to be freezing in the gulag.
Gym Tan Laundry,
T-shirt time.
T-shirt,
shanking.
That's how we show up to court.
Yeah, like I literally saw him up there. I was like, it's Mike the Situation.
Yeah. It's not. They're charged the same way too. So
I feel old talking about Jersey Shore because that show is so old now.
Literally, Jersey Shore went from a reality TV show to just kick streamers just being outrageous people. No offense, Silent. You're doing a great job. You are not that. If you are tuning in wherever you are, not talking about you.
Exactly.
I also love that Straight Bombs knows GTL.
Oh, yeah. 10 times over. All right. Getting into our last topic here. History in the making. Groundbreaking moments for us to get excited. Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' space company, has shattered the ceiling once again for women that are oppressed, as we have this historic moment where a all-female crew took a recreational space flight.
It pisses me off, the word recreational. It's followed by space flight.
Well,
we just took a cruise.
I love that they keep calling them a crew. They were a crew like my checked baggage claim is the crew on my flight.
Alex,
we have 5 carry-ons with the crew.
Exactly.
I heard online they went through like an afternoon of training the day before their launch.
It's literally like a skydiving prep video. All right, you want to breathe through the gravity. In and out. And again, no steering wheel, no accelerator. Sounds like a crew to me.
Yeah, what exactly are they crewing? Are they
What was the point of this?
Something?
Can you get to that? But like, why did they go up there?
What
was like the resources used?
Hence
for?
why the topic title, it's a stunt. This is literally just like a, do you know there's been like over 50 recreational flights so far?
Yeah.
I implore everybody to go check out our other YouTube channel, Rethink Actions, our reactions channel, where just this past Sunday, real history was made when a crypto billionaire used Elon Musk's technology to orbit over Antarctica for the first time.
Crazy.
Human eyeballs saw Antarctica for the first time. Did Katy Perry and Gail King? No.
Who are the other three? Do you have the names of them, or is it
No people? Take it. You know what? Jeff Bezos' plastic Barbie wife was one of them too.
Was she?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, she was.
Groundbreaking.
Wait, Alex, did you see? I saw a picture of a dude laying on the ground. The article said it was Jeff Bezos. He tripped running over.
Stop getting ahead of us, damn it.
Aw.
Here's the crew entering this historical moment. Now, before I play the clip, I want you to see this as we watch it. There's an interview of Gail King. And again, I don't want to like beat down a cool moment too much. Like there's something really cool about this for just the human race. Like I've been on roller coasters. I've been on boats. The fact that we've got people just for play going up to space for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Insane. That's awesome.
You can't be
Welcome
too hypocritical.
To the future.
Yeah, you can't be too hypocritical when, like, at the same time, if I was offered it, I'd be like, send me up.
Yep. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
but
Wait,
how long?
I only need to do half a day training. I'm up there. I'm already up there.
The partner of one of the richest talk shows hosts ever. She's footing the bill. So for me to go up to space, yeah. Oprah's sending me to space. I'm going.
Yeah.
Dude, Will, it's like For All Mankind, it's like, dude, maybe we'll actually get a casual space flight to the moon where it just becomes a casual thing that you go up there,
That is something
Again,
that happens in the show. Yeah.
That is a future that is inevitable, theoretically. And for that to be inevitable, these are the small steps that get us there. So this is what makes it so exciting. But again, as I play this clip of the crew ringing the bell as they take this incredible step, Gail King in an interview says, "Yeah, you can notice I'm not as excited as everybody else, and it's because it's at that moment where you're watching everyone reach for a bell that like the gravity of the situation hits of like I'm about to go in that pod and I have no control over the situation. I'm just praying I make it back to this thing. What?" Then I see the clip again. I'm just, what? Like everybody else is like, and then there's Gail King just like.
Dude, I watched that live and I thought that same thing.
And here they come. Here we go. Loading into the capsule. And the significance here of the bell, and I should note.
Doesn't even. Yeah, I saw that. Not even a smile at all.
It's like, in her mind, she's just like, shit. I gotta go on this thing now.
Significance of that is what, Ariane?
There's Katy Perry.
This is one of our traditions.
She's about to shoot like a firework.
Had their traditions.
I've been sitting on that one all day, haven't you?
There's Jeff like, I'm making bank. Ring a ding a ding. That's my bank account.
I either have a really good day or I'm looking for a new wife. It's one of the two things.
I can afford either. So here's a clip of the launch itself. Again, keeping with the theme of like, yeah, we're going to have some punch down jokes and have some fun here. But that's why like I want to double down on the emphasis of how cool this is, how cool of a moment this is for humanity, for just us as a species.
T-minus 22 seconds and counting.
What does that look like?
Wang.
Throw the tip into space. Way right
Just
away.
That was Wang. Again.
That's Sunday's show.
T-minus 10.
Three thing actions.
People need a real astronaut.
7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1. Ignition.
Okay.
New Shepard has cleared the tower.
What?
I'm just thinking, like they all walked on, they all look really happy. Every single one of them, but Gail King is all like, "Woo!" And Gail King is just like, "Shut up, Katie. Shut up, Katie. Shut up, Katie."
Man, that thing looked like something they will all use, bro. Like with the tip. and everything. Like it looked like something all used. I'm sorry, I'm immature, but like it's
But
identical. Come on.
That has been the Blue Origin running joke. Is like Jeff Bezos's technology is very what's the word, phallic looking.
Blue Origin, Blue Chew.
Yeah, straight up.
Filled with women. There's something there. There's something to be said about that.
We're blasting the seeds of humanity into space.
If there was ever a billionaire where I'd be like, yeah, his first thought would be repopulate like a new planet. Bezos even trumps.
Yo,
Put those plastic women in there.
They could have made the tip of that a little more pointier, bro. Why is it so round on the top, man? Like,
I want to talk to a physics aerodynamics specialist. Somebody needs to explain to me why the blunt, round capsule is a better tip than the pointed rocket tip where we've been used to our whole childhood.
This is why even though a lot of their shuttles like end up blowing up, we respect SpaceX more because it's like looks like they know what they're doing.
This looks
this is
literally
the
like
first
Austin Powers.
Yes. Next you're gonna send up a big boy.
Yeah. Sir, it looks like a giant penis, and then it cuts to someone else.
Yes, we've seen that movie. The better joke was next they're sending up a big boy.
Dude, I'm just telling you. They're freezing mini-me and it's Bezos up there. Oh my god. Like that.
Dude, a little mini bald guy's like, welcome home, Gail. And
like
Katie.
literally you have SpaceX trying to advance space exploration, and then you have Dr. Evil from Amazon like doing
Literally.
whatever. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, and again, at the same time, it is cool. It is cool. It is a step in like the idea, and like not even just the idea, like actually like, you know, you could be a passenger in space. That's what this entire thing was. But it's like the guy doing it reminds me of Dr. Evil. I look at his phallic looking rocket go up there. I didn't even know this happened until after it happened.
Which is
by the way.
crazy.
Dude,
That's an element of the conversation, too.
What's crazy, too, though, is like Will's mentioning just people going up there casually. Dude, William Shatner's gone to space. And
90
he was like,
years old. Then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he did it with Amazon. So that's all Amazon's doing. Amazon, literally Bezos is,
I love how you say Amazon, too.
maybe this is the time where we acknowledge, do you want to know what it costs?
Yes, I
so
do.
they won't disclose the cost, but it's $150,000 to deposit, put it down a deposit for your consideration. The bid for one of the disclosed costs, one of the seats has gone for $28 million.
that was Katie.
Well, we'll find out what she paid.
Someone on Nantucket.
But it is interesting. What's that? She lives in Nantucket with you?
No.
Well, that's what he said.
No, I was gonna say someone on Nantucket gonna get chosen. I'm gonna hear the story. I'm gonna try to bring them on for you, and I see it in the future.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be Joe Biden's vase. So, of course, a bunch of chicas are having a good time. This is ladies' night, Galentine's Day for 10 minutes up in space, checking out the moon. Let's see as they frolic through space.
1, 2, 3, taking up space!
I'm jealous.
Same.
Come here.
Yeah, I was just saying, weightlessness sounds awesome.
This looks like such a fun instance of chaos.
Man.
Like they're trying to keep it cool, but just watch how
Hey,
they
look out the damn window.
Yo,
Don't look at the
If
camera.
it was us, I know would have tried to bring a bottle of bourbon up there. Fuck all that.
Yeah, Katie's in the camera the whole time. That's a good point, Will. She's staring right at us.
She's literally only here to sell her tour.
That's
Is it
amazing.
a space tour?
Wow, look at the blue line. Oh my god.
Yo, rethink tank in space.
Yeah, what we
A
don't know
bottle
is
of
in 3 weeks
bourbon.
we're sending up Sabrina
I'll
Carpenter.
take it a shot.
Well, wait, Ricky said a great point. We should do a rethink tank trip to
It's-
space, Alex.
Oh, okay, Doug. Yeah, I'll just
Only-
make sure to get on that. Next time you
only-
stumble across 28 million 4 times.
No. I'm
I'll be
saying
sure
it's
to
gonna
do that.
happen.
I have faith
It's
in
gonna
you.
happen. It's gonna get cheaper. It's gonna happen. Maybe when we were 63 or something, we were about to retire. But it's gonna happen. We're gonna bring a bottle of bourbon, 4 glasses, I'm just gonna have a toast in space.
Wait. I don't think we could pour glasses in zero gravity, man. I don't think that would work out well.
Well, we gotta figure something out.
Space movies.
Pour it up. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think that far, but I think far enough.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? Good for them. It looks like I'm just really glad they all made it back.
Well,
I'm glad they didn't get stuck up there for like 2 years, by the way.
Yeah.
Speaking of another, agency that really, drops the ball.
Or leaves the ball just lingering in space for 9 months. But going here, like you said, I'm just glad they returned. Well, take a look at the return.
Parachutes. There go the drug parachutes.
Just free falling right there until those drugs came out.
And then next will be the main parachutes that get pulled out.
Coming in hot.
The ground at 25 miles an hour.
Hear that screaming inside the capsule?
And
Even with
all
parachutes.
3 parachutes
Did you hear
moving, and they
the
will slowly
screams, especially when they
inflate.
switch from the whatever to the main parachutes? Even say, okay, they're about to
Capsule
switch to the main, and
nice,
you get your
smooth
break
10,
out even
15
more.
miles an hour. They are cruising back home.
Boy, they are cruising. Worded that one well. SpaceX was just like a feather. It was just like
It really was.
And I tell you, Kristen, from
We're
having
coming in, we're coming in,
gone through all of the simulations,
Beware
gone
for
through
the
all, I
second
have gone
impact.
through all of the training. They put you in the capsule that simulates all of this, including the sounds, and when you hear the motors of the parachutes pop out, that is the best moment in flight.
And you will see a puff of smoke when it touches down, a puff of dust.
water.
I forgot. Yeah, no, they did it on a desert floor. I was going to say, I forgot they land on actual ground, not
very
water,
soft,
dude.
soft
25
landing
miles.
despite the sporty perception. There it is.
What is that? It's 25 miles an hour.
Congratulations.
I love it. They're all in there like, oh my God. Amazing.
My misery is being stuck in a capsule. Okay, I don't know. We literally have talked about planes, and I just do a little cross on the way up, on the way down. I just want to come back in one piece. Imagine, like, I'm just trying to breathe my way through this, and I just got, and I'm just like, I'm going to kill this.
She starts breaking on the roar, and it's like, thanks, Katie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Katie. I'm not freaking out or nothing.
E-T. Not now. You want to kiss a girl? You might like it, bitch. What are we doing here?
Gail, I don't know if anyone's introduced you to that. Oh, please.
So Doug clearly can't contain himself. He just has to jump the gun, full of excitement. But there is a pretty funny clip here of Jeff Bezos just getting all excited. So this thing crashes in the ground at 25 miles an hour. The ground, not water. Poof. Because, it could Titanic submarine. So you got to just keep it where it's safe, where the coyotes roam, the hard ground. So, poof. And I love the I guess, air traffic controller, whatever you want to call the lady over the aircom. And she's like, you're going to see a little puff of smoke. Boom. So now it takes about 10 minutes for them to catch their bearings and get these people out, or really to open the door. So
because it
now
should be
imagine,
hot.
Okay, feel 30 seconds, feel 2 minutes. You just got a good whiplash. Kapoof. I have a little bit of CTE. Now you got to sit in it for 10 minutes before they get you out. And here's a clip of Jeff Bezos running around the capsule as he's eager to assist in liberating the crewmates.
I like the ding. The little arrow. Boom.
The way he felt, it was so do you walk?
Right in a hole.
The hole that the spacecraft made, probably.
The only injury that happened that day was Bezos broke his ankle.
Or his knee. Seriously, that was intense. So here's Mr. Bezos liberating his wife and the rest of the crew as they finally get the door open.
didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys.
You're still screaming.
Watch how quick.
What's your baby?
Where are my babies?
Where are my babies? The dogs are over there.
Where? Oh, we have to go
Right
there.
there.
Okay.
That's her priority. Where are
That's
my
what you
babies?
asked for, the dogs?
I love you, my bank account. Now, where's my dogs?
Where are my babies?
I
She kissed the ground too. If anyone just called.
Oh, that's the theme here. They're just thankful. They survived. Because they're,
Dude,
they're
I would have
ceiling
walked out of
breakers.
that the instant someone tried to touch me and be like, fuck away from me, dude. I'm just gonna get my shit together.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd literally just lay on the ground for a minute. Like, I'd just be like, all right, I'm here. Let me catch my bearings.
Honestly, no. First thing I would have stepped in is I would have looked right at Jeff. I'm like, you chose this over the water. This is what you picked. All that money.
Yeah. You couldn't make this waterproof.
I literally saw like 5 people land in water the other week and it looked really comfortable.
No, just the other day.
Gail is thankful.
First words. Where's Oprah?
Well, it is funny you bring that up. I have a video of Oprah just thanking the heavens her baby made it home. Oh. Oh, we love her. We love her. Those are the same tears she wept over her, Maui. Was it? Maui. Yeah, her home.
Oh,
Not the people. Those are just casualties of the laser. Katy Perry had some things to say.
The highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey. And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my tour.
What training? Did she really only do a half day of training?
Yeah, that's
Bro.
literally, as far as I'm aware. When I was listening to this on the news, they were like, "Yeah, they went through like an afternoon of training yesterday before today, blah blah blah." Like, yeah, there's not much training for them because they have no control. They're not actually astronauts.
Yeah, so I don't. Maybe she. Everything else she said, like, yeah, sure, I'm sure it is an unbelievably liberating experience. It's something I'm definitely jealous of. I don't know how the hell I would ever experience what she did. She made it sound like, oh, you should go do Top Thrill. Like, it's not quite the same thing. But I mean, you know what? Kudos to Katy Perry. I don't quite understand why people don't like Katy Perry. Maybe I'm just not online enough. But like, what's with the training comment? Like, Katy, we could literally Google that. You literally watched like a banana boat training. Like, you just go up there. It's all good. It's all good in the hood,
Well, what's funny is you literally get more training for like an hour scuba diving.
Yeah, it just sounds like they basically just like showed up. Here's your suit, get on. You might get a little queasy and go up there.
Well, so let's just there is an interesting theme with like the point I make. With scuba diving, you're going under such intense pressure that you actually have to be conscious. You can't just be a layman. There's no I can make you kind of like a submarine. You really just can't be a passenger on a submarine. You have to be conscientious of the pressure. Well, a submarine's different than physically being under the pressure.
Under that actual pressure.
And you have to be conscientious of nitrogen in your blood, and you can get nitrogen poisoning. So if you can only be at certain depths for certain lengths of time, or else you will give yourself nitrogen poisoning. What's interesting is going the opposite way, less pressure, no gravity. It's almost like you can throw a monkey in a capsule and it.
Oh, wait, we did that.
Doug, you got it.
Look behind you.
How do you think he got there?
I don't know why he took his helmet off. That's why he's not thinking. That's what he's doing. But I mean, it's like cool for Katie, cool for all of them. I just love the detachment from reality, though. Like everyone should experience this. It's like, how much did you pay? Say it right now. How much did you pay to do this?
Wouldn't you? Well, and again, don't you love the end of the clip? You kind of gloss past it. And I just love you're so powerful. You're such a strong woman. And you announced your tour. And the way she announced her tour, if we saw back at like the clip of them in space, she has her set list on a butterfly. And then she lets it float away. That's my announcement. And it's like, no, this was all a publicity stunt. And it's going to, I mean, wow, you sold tickets. It worked. But keeping up with the playful manner we got going on here, you got to listen. So that was Katy Perry's interview getting out of the capsule. Here's a word from Gayle King that just can't help but leave you chuckle.
It was when we got back in our seats after 0 G's, Katie sang "What a Wonderful World."
She did?
Isn't that nice?
Come on.
She sang "What a Wonderful World." I see dreams. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Because we'd been asking her to sing all the time, and she wouldn't. And then, because everybody said, sing Roar, sing Fireworks. And she said, it's not about me. I wanted to talk about the world.
So what's funny?
I'm just going to take my set list up there, but it's not about me.
Yeah, right. Everybody else is looking out the window like this is a wonder. Only 25 humans have seen, or 50, whatever it is. And she's like, buy me, buy my tickets, my shirt, my merch. Love me.
I need you to refund me for doing this.
Yeah. And her whole time was in the camera, just like, did you see I wrote the names of songs on a butterfly? And they're like, you could see the moon. Shut up, bitch. You are in the frame.
You can see the moon. I see it from down there too. This is my set list.
It's in my set list. So I just love there's articles that like Katy Perry, the first woman to sing in space. And like, it's like, you were saying this to me earlier.
Yeah, like no one else is singing.
No one sung like happy birthday.
Yeah.
And what's also funny is Gayle King just called you all liars. Because she's like, we spent the whole time begging her to sing. And it wasn't until we got CTE in the desert and we're stuck there for 10 minutes. And she's like, what a wonderful world. Now, bitch, now's the time.
I still cannot believe it landed like that.
Yeah.
Like that is the only part of this where I'm like, oh, that seemed dumb.
I just love 3 parachutes has you accelerating at the ground, impacted about 25 miles an hour.
Maybe add another.
That is incredible,
was a 4th parachute that much more expensive?
Literally, Elon ran the numbers, and that's why he was like, no, add a 4th. It'll be a nice
5.
land.
But dude, no. Still though, only 25 miles per hour. You know how fast re-entry is? I mean, come on. That's pretty good, man.
Doug, if a car hit you at 25 miles per hour, you would break like a pretzel.
Oh,
Doug,
I would. But you know what?
Doug, if
I'm
a
not falling
child
in a
hits you at
spacecraft
25 feet
per
hour.
Dude, like I get it. If it's falling through the atmosphere super duper fast, 25 is not close to that. But like, dude, the first thing I would have said to Jeff as I got out there, I'd be like, next time, water. 4th and 5th parachute, man. I had a great time, but can we, you have the money to do that.
So that being said, what might indicate to you that this is a potential publicity stunt and not a groundbreaking piece of history like what we reviewed on Rethink Actions this past Sunday? It could be the telltale sign if you're doing anything and the Kardashians are there.
Guys going up is the real question.
Oh my gosh, I don't know, but this made it a little more enticing.
You can go on behalf of the rest of us, but
thank you.
I think we'd all drag you off of the tarmac before we let you go up. But I like you being an observer.
I don't think I realized how emotional it was going to be, and I literally had chills all over my body from the second it launched until the moment I just saw it land. And it's sort of hard to explain because I don't think you would be that emotional, but it's it's incredible. It takes your breath away. And I feel like I have all this adrenaline and I'm just standing here.
First of all, we're so thrilled that the girls are safe and everything went so well. And so that's a relief because, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of nerves up there, but to hear the girls screaming and having such...
They said they saw the pink moon. Yeah. I heard the audio. I was like, that is the coolest thing. I cannot wait to get the footage from inside
and
to see that.
I want to hear every little emotion that they had, and we can't wait to see the footage from inside.
What are the chances? The pink moon, the rocket launch. It's so exciting.
It's a great day.
That tells me this is just phony psyop.
Why didn't they interview Wang? When he got back from Antarctica.
For the people that don't understand the context, the crypto guru that paid for the private trip around, I think it was 48 times around the earth, and like 30% of them went over Antarctica. That's who he's talking about when he's talking about Wang.
An actual scientist.
Can we do one thing though? I think here in the room, let's take bets. Who's going to be the first Kardashian in space?
It'll be like Chloe. It won't be Kim. It'll be like Chloe.
No Caitlyn. Oh, Jenner's are on the table too.
Kylie.
No. She's too valuable. They'll send one of like the less.
Kylie's having fun.
I'm with you, Will.
With anything that's young.
You're with what, Ricky?
I'm with you. I'm with you, Chloe.
Yeah, I think it'd be like Courtney or like Chloe.
Chloe's expendable.
Yeah, you know,
I could see
you can't send
either.
up Kim. You can't send up Kylie. Kendall's nowhere to be found. Caitlyn, that's just be a bad PR.
Listen,
like that
Katy
would just
Perry did it. So clearly, high profile
William
cargo
Shatner did
can
it.
survive. So
William
I could
Shatner.
see it. Yes, Doug. Yes, I could
Captain
see
Kirk.
it being one of the Expendables or the head honcho.
No,
I
they
could see it
wouldn't.
being Kim.
They couldn't send up Kim.
I
They
could
couldn't send up Kim.
see Kim spending thousands of dollars just on a spacesuit for the photography moment.
I could see her doing that,
yes.
but I can't see her.
And it would be
actually
her
sending
new
her up.
line.
And here's why. The Kardashians are like the Kennedys now. You're not going to send JFK up there. You're going to send like Bobby or someone up there. One that's like expendable enough to be like, he's not the head honcho one, but he's one of us. One of us went up there, you know, and spend one of them I guess is less accomplished, I guess. So like, that's why I think Courtney or Chloe.
Ricky, what were you going to say?
Nah, I changed my mind, Will. It's Kim, because
I
then
think
she's gonna
so.
come out with a new line, a Skim Space Edition.
Bingo. And look at, she's going to be in space. Look at, nothing flops. Everything stays in place. It's an ad. It's an ad for itself. It sells itself.
Even up here, it still blends great.
Now, see, this is the 4D chess. I'm going with the dark horse. It's Rob. Rob's going up there. Rob's going up there.
Rob got to lose. Rob got to lose a lot of weight.
I was about to say, Rob's the only crew member, just solo trip, because that's all they could lift.
Whoa.
He did it to himself.
Send up the moss.
The moss. The moss.
Watch that thing start up and come back down.
Jeff Bezos, I couldn't fit. You need to make this fit, big people.
Watch
I do love.
They'd send her up on that phallic cock and they get halfway and just start coming back down.
Great. Yes, sir.
I do love that we all just know the Kardashian and rambling off. Dougie back in the back, like, yeah, Chloe's like knowing about her life and stuff. I like that.
Yeah,
we diverse,
Doug,
fellas.
Can you tell which among us watches Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Doug keeps up.
What do you mean? I said Kylie. I
That's
just
one
said
of
the
them.
youngest one.
Yeah, you know, I just like that we're diverse as a
Isn't
group.
Kylie
You know,
the youngest
Will
one?
knows
Yeah,
about
Kylie
Courtney and
Jenner.
Chloe.
I think Kylie is.
I think she's the youngest.
Yes, Kylie Jenner is the youngest.
Yeah, that was the one I said. I didn't say Chloe. That was
just
Will that
saying.
knows all
I'm
the
just saying,
Kardashians
Doug.
over there.
Well, I'm just saying the expendable ones because that's what I was saying up as the
So he
expendable.
I'm
knows
just
all
saying,
of
I
them.
like that we're all diverse with the Kardashians and you
Like I
know,
said,
their hierarchy in the group.
It's a sad truth we live. Now, while this is a groundbreaking moment and the ceiling is broken for a all-woman baggage claim or crew member, they harness the ship. this isn't really a realm for me to speak on. I need to stay in my lane and bow out, be a good ally, and allow the space for those that know to speak on it. And so who would know better than Megyn Kelly?
Supposed to be celebrating them. Somehow it's supposed to be empowering because not enough women have gone up into space. What we mean is not enough are astronauts. Not enough women are astronauts. That's what we mean. We don't mean please put Gayle King in yet another opportunity for her to try to act like a star while she's next to Oprah, who also was there, of course. She didn't get to go up, but she stood there on the sidelines. I don't feel empowered. This is like another, it's female White House press corps day at the White House. Remember I told you this during Obama? They were like, it's female empowerment day or whatever. And they invited a bunch of women, including yours truly and some people from Fox, to go over there and interview the president. And I was like, no, it's a no. I'll go over when I'm getting asked there because I'm worthy as a journalist, period. Not journalist with a vagina. Okay. I don't really want to be celebrated for that at all by anyone who doesn't know me. And I just feel uncomfortable about this. Like, why? If they had been 6 astronauts going up there, then yes, okay. What did they do? The one gal is engaged to a billionaire, and these are a bunch of celebrities she wanted to befriend. Okay. Yeah. Of course, Lauren Shands has, whatever her name, had to show off her tits. Okay, it's a little early in the hour. She's dropping the T word. Her breasts in her little fake astronaut outfit because, what's a day if we don't get to see the girls on Lauren Sanchez? It's not as offensive as showing them at the presidential inauguration, but I think it's a little off message.
Yeah, because Megyn Kelly, it's your personality. I love her. I don't want to take away from her, but come on, you're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you're going to play dumb like you don't know. I don't know what's going on. These girls with boobs. Honey. But there's a bigger arching point that has been a thread that has kind of sewn together all of today's dialogue, which is DEI, diversity, in an organic fashion is necessary, fruitful, and beneficial. But it's like, this isn't that. Megyn Kelly says it straight. It's like, I'm going to get excited about somebody that breaks a barrier, like a female astronaut that dominates something. I'm going to get excited about the first black baseball player that dominated the sport. But guess what? If they didn't pick Jackie Robinson and somebody that was probably at the top of the Negro League, and they were just like, we need somebody. Pick Bob, the guy that's sweeping the toilets, get him in there. And then the guy representing it just for the sake of representing it, not only does the effort a disservice, but actually backtracks it because they aren't proving their value. And then the value that's perceived by the rest of the public is well, there isn't any value and it's forced on us. So it would be nice if we could cheer on these situations and get excited, not because, well, it's just, oh, look what they got between their legs. It's, no, this is the best suited to be here. Mm-hmm. And Megyn Kelly's point, I think, was the coolest, which is, I didn't want to get invited to the White House to see Obama on Celebrate Women's Day. I only want to be invited to the White House because I did so good in my career that I'm being acknowledged, I'm being respected. There's a moment for me, not just because I check a box that we're desperate to scratch at.
Right.
So a clip I'd let you, that's right, Reggie. That's right. One of the clips I'd like to close out the concept with, there's so many articles and clips and media mocking the situation, making light of it, making fun. But one of the clips that I think did the absolute best, I'm going to chalk it up here to Caitlin Riley, who this clip just cracked me up. Honorable mention.
Yeah, Mama. I see your tight little ass in space. Are you trying to tell me that 6 bitches went in space this morning? Fuck yeah! Roar! Lady Gaga just headlined Coachella, and now there's 6 bitches in space? This is gonna be an amazing fucking week for women. We love you, Gayle King. Go off. I'm sure Oprah's nearby. Maybe space is one of Oprah's favorite things. Hold on. Jeff Bezos' girlfriend also went in space? Wait a second. She's a children's author, and her book is really good. Maybe I can buy it off of Amazon. Katy Perry, yes, bitch. Let us know what the album is. I'm sure it's gonna be about space. Fuck yeah! I want more of this.
And this is a satirical way. This is a satirical way of picking at, this is what you think of us. This is what you think I am. Like, this is what you think of women and how women should be perceived and how women should perceive other women. So with that being said, let's bring it into our wrapping thoughts. First, Ricky, I'm going to flip it to you. What's your wrapping thought on the whole Blue Origin success story?
Spaceship looked funny.
Why was that?
It's a little too round at the top, bro. I thought, triangle, more aerodynamic, but I'm not a scientist. But it's cool. I'm jealous of them being in space. I ain't taking nothing from them. Hey, Jeff Bezos want a bunch of ladies to go in his tip of his spaceship and shoot off. Okay, it's his. He got the money to do it. Bezos, what's up, homie? Holla at your boy. I'll go in space, shoot off on your tip. No diddy. You know what I mean? I'll do it. That looks awesome. I'd love to have that experience. All that, yeah. That's my rapid thoughts.
I just love Katy Perry's whole takeaway is love, and everyone should do this. Oh, is it that? I think so too. Tell Oprah to get my ass up there too. You go to space. You go to space. You go to space. No, this is for the elites only. My wrapping thought is going to close on a clip. Okay, so again, I encourage all of our exciting listeners this week, all the folks joining us on Twitter, and Straight Bombs and everybody that's in the comments. We appreciate you all. I implore you to go check out our reactions channel, where this past weekend we saw some really awesome clips of real history, right? Us seeing Antarctica for the first time, shattering the minds of the flat earthers and the dome. We live in a dome. All of it goes to rest when we are confronted with the reality of actual groundbreaking science. That being said, things worth reflecting on. Not being a carry-on on a Jeff Bezos peen, but actually doing some something worth reflecting on and get an accolade, a true accolade. So I wrap my thought with, here's a clip from 1926. A situation occurred where a plane wheel fell off of a plane on its takeoff. So now there's a plane stuck in flight that cannot land because it's missing a wheel. If you want to say what Katy Perry did or Gayle King did, or who's your guy, Shatner? If you're going to say what anything they did is something exciting and an accolade, what do you call what this guy did? Oh, yeah. So for those that are just listening, it is a guy who has a wheel strapped to him, gets on a Wright Brothers kite plane.
Biplane.
Thank you, Doug. I'm trying to describe it, but a biplane. That's accurate. But it looks like a kite.
Yeah.
This dude is on the wing of the plane with a tire wheel strapped to his back. They get the wings next to each other.
They're called wing walkers, by the way. There's a whole old historical
That's a skill,
video.
dude. Just like a stilt walker. The guys that are eating lunch on steel beams, building, towers. This is, and then he just lands. Look at him. He's just holding on yep, boop, 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 boop. And this is just forgotten history. This is just another Tuesday. That guy was throwing 2 nickels, bought a gumball and a pack of hot dogs and was like, job well done. A full day. So I say, let's, in a world where everybody gets a participation trophy, we're giving, scholarships and And again, trophies and accolades to anybody that just participates, shows up. We've lost sight of like real credibility, something that is worth our attention, awe-inspiring. Again, forgotten history. This was just another Tuesday for that guy. And for the casual folks of the future, that's an insane reality. Nobody 100 years from now is going to be like, did you see what Gayle King did? I would have kissed the ground too. Insane. Groundbreaking. Ceiling shattering. So it's a stunt, not a historical moment. But bringing it full circle to kind of the heart that we went into the topic initially, we got away from it because the scene is surrounded by such idiocracy, such buffoonery, it's a circus. But this is so awesome, dude. We got people casually taking trips to space. And now this is just like we were talking about self-landing rockets. That was a big deal when the first 3 crashed and then like we did it. Now it's like, yeah, we're landing rockets all day, every day. It's just what we do. This is what we do now. Now we just go partying. There are going to be people
we still can't get back to the moon.
There are going to be people just going up into space just to take like a shot and come back. Like I'm going, Grey Goose coming back home. Or like, again, we filmed a music video up there. Like this is just a thing we do now. Now we go to space for 10 minutes. We hang out, we come home. That's going to be the next vacation. Somehow we got to get like, $100 million so we could all do it. Yeah. Rapid thoughts.
I think this was pathetic. From a distance, I could say, yeah, sure, it's cool. And then when I see the pageantry around it, and I think back to when Shatner did it a few years ago, it's like, part of my language. But
that was also the first like private man launch. That was also the first private man launch. That's why that's impressive. Shatner did it, man.
Shatner didn't do it. He just got to be there for it. Okay.
Yeah, he was a carry-on.
Exactly. So these individuals being carry-ons, why is it cool? I can't tell you. I really can't. Other than like, oh, I'm watching you be jealous with your immense wealth, that then you get back there and preach love and you should all do this, knowing damn well like only a certain percentile of individuals on this planet.
The percentile being so small, no one.
Exactly. Then to go up there and do that, then to come down and have this, pardon my language again, this pussyfoot kind of conversation around it. Like, how impressive was that? Look what great. Just knowing that she went up there, just be like, here was my set list. Look at how cool this is. And it could have been, it didn't just have to be Katy Perry. It could have been any celebrity that went up there and did that.
Could have been anyone.
We talked Sunday about people actually trying to like show a different perspective of the world and using these resources to actually like kind of broaden our understanding this current world we live in. What did that broaden? You went up there for 10 minutes to come back down to put the camera in front of the Kardashians and be like, what did you think? How did you? Oh, my adrenaline was through the roof. I don't care. The fact that any people care about this, other than, sure, it's a cool ride. The Top Thrill Dragster is a cool ride. I guess that's something I can afford. Also, so I'm allowed to go there. Doug, wait your goddamn turn.
No, but why Kardashians, man?
Because, Doug, it's getting to my point. It's that percentile of people that could do this. So they're going to be there and say, oh, my God, it's so cool. I can't wait till we're next. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here going like, I'll never even conceive of being even in a room with people talking about or doing it, let alone having the opportunity to do that. That Antarctica thing, that's in the past already. We're talking about Katy Perry's set list up there on Jeff Bezos, Dr. Evil's little thing.
2 days later,
it's just one of those. It's just one of these, like, my closing thoughts is like, sure, is it cool? It's like, yeah, if it was a conceivable thing that I could see like us for doing, but it's not. It's just something we talk about that then they come down and be like, oh, preach love, preach all this. Screw you. How much money did you spend on this? And then at the same time, you're going to look at us and be like, do more, help the environment, all this shit.
Dude,
these are the same people that do that shit. And it's like, that's cool. Listen, I'm glad it was a great experience. And for them, I'm glad you made it back safe. Truthfully, I'm really glad all of you made it back safe. It would have been a disaster if you didn't go that way. There would have been more outcry if those 5 went up and didn't make it back rather than the 4 individuals that went around Antarctica. You would have seen more, oh my God, show compassion. And for them, if these 5 unbelievably ultra wealthy, expensive passenger bags got, then people actually trying to do like real scientific work. I'm with Doug. Go back to the moon. Build a base up there. Start traveling in that regards that way. Make it cooler. Going up there for 10 minutes just to have what, like your little celebrity posse down here going like, oh my God, my adrenaline was through the roof. Like,
and to say one thing we totally forgot, or I totally forgot, is to then go on to say that this was to bring attention to climate change.
Right. You know, like these are the same people that will look at you and be like, do more with your money. Meanwhile, I'm going to spend.
You're going to literally pollute the
$30
environment. Like the
When
environment
you
gets
talk over
polluted
each other
more.
at the same time, just know nobody hears either of you.
I mean, I was talking.
I know.
But
exactly.
like that's so is it cool? Sure. But I'm not impressed by this. I don't find anything about it impressive. I think it is a waste of resources. I think it was a waste of time. The fact that this is a news story where we're having, like, I agreed with Megyn Kelly's point. I do think she's hypocritical, though, when she starts talking about Bezos's wife's physical features, because it's just like, you're missing the point. You're missing the forest through the trees. Talk about we need more female astronauts. I agree. Fully agree. Qualified people. DI isn't even a stigma in that regards. Qualified individuals go do these cool things. That Antarctica trip we watched, it was 4 people, 2 men, 2 women. Why isn't that being talked about more? It's such a cool thing.
Well, let's be real. One thing I don't want to gloss over. It's the same thing. You were a passenger in that one too.
Right, but
at least you were in an orbit. You went higher. You have to go even higher to get to the outside poles. And it does actually take more fuel and energy because you actually have to use a lot more jet fuel to get back to the way the poles work is you're not naturally supposed to be over the poles. So it takes a significant amount of jet fuel to push yourself back out of the natural orbit so you could continue through that orbit. So again, it is an awesome feat. They were just passengers too. So it's like, don't pretend. I want to mean like these women, don't pretend like this is anything new.
No,
we literally just did it last week.
No,
and it was half women.
My thing is, it's not new, but it's like, I look at the 4 that went over Antarctica. It's like, yeah, but these are people who train for it for a specific purpose to provide us with something new. And all you 5 did was just go up there. Then to find out it's most likely a stunt. In fact, it's a complete stunt. The only reason why you got it is, and I agreed with Megyn Kelly's point that Bezos' wife wanted to make new friends, and this is how she's going to do it. First thing she says is hug my bank account, where are my dogs? Like, and then the other 4 get back, and it's like they're immediately probably already preparing for maybe their next venture, whatever it could be. And meanwhile, Katy Perry is going to go on tour, but no, it was really great, and you should all do this, even though none of you listening to this can afford to do it. But you should do it. You should do it. It's great. I loved every bit of it. So I could agree that, sure, it's cool because I'm jealous and envious that it's something I wish I could someday do. Knowing damn well the people that are telling me to do it are like, you're spending immense wealth that is inconceivable to the average person. And then you'll preach us something like at the end of the day, like you should really like peace, love, and tranquility. But I'm going to spend half a country's GDP to go on a 10-minute joyride. It's really great. It's really great. I'm just glad they made it back safe.
Yes. That's a perfect cherry. Doug, wrapping thought.
Doug, can I start talking over you now?
Go ahead.
All right. Continue.
No, it's this really isn't anything new. Like they've already done the first Blue Origin launch. They've already done the first SpaceX launch. At least the last SpaceX was something unique. No one had gone over Antarctica. Like this was just nothing besides rich people going up there. Like, and honestly, I'd rather like these companies. NASA has pretty much given up on its own space travel. NASA doesn't have its own spacecraft. It's all SpaceX, really Blue Origin.
Makes you wonder if it really was a real program.
So that's why I'm like a little disappointed that these companies that we're relying on now to pretty much be our space program are putting celebrities up there
what's funny?
And not planning to go to the moon or anything. This is where their priority is.
As soon as all the Nazis that were running NASA died, all of our scientific ability in that department just died.
Yeah, then you know,
it's almost like it wasn't our program,
right?
And it was the Nazis' program. And once we lost the Nazi, it was like, well, back to the poking computers with the monkeys.
But Doug, I want to ask you a question. Since you actually, posed the 2 companies, SpaceX and what's this one called? Blue Orbit,
Blue Origin.
Blue Origin. Is Blue Origin are they strictly just trying to do like passenger rides?
Yes, their focus is tourism.
Okay,
That, like SpaceX, doesn't Blue Origin have some like satellite? Like, don't they do some
have
cargo
satellite,
stuff?
sure.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure,
do
yeah.
cargo stuff, and that's pretty much where most of NASA is contracted out, is getting our satellites up there. It's all
But
contracted
Blue
out.
Origin's commercial approach, like SpaceX is not trying to make money on tourism as much as they are. He's like, I'm going to Mars.
Yeah, he's actually trying to
It's
do
like
exploration.
that isn't something within Space Origin's mantra or mission statement.
Okay.
It is money.
Launching
And-
stuff into space for money.
Yeah.
And the problem is, it's just like when I hear that, I just think, and Doug, not to cut you off again, but like I just think of like, again, it's 5 celebrities doing it, and it's like at what. And Ricky made the point, like eventually, like sure, the price is going to go down. Like what? When like I'm in my 60s, and I have a whole family and grandkids, and I'm going to think like, oh, now I'm going to get in the rocket and possibly risk it all.
But see, I'm not even thinking about us
you're
going
right.
up there. I'm thinking the fact that like SpaceX and Blue Origin are pretty much our future of space. Like there is no NASA anymore. They're relying on these
Private.
two companies
Just
to get
like
stuff
when
up there. That's what I'm saying. So
when you talk about medical systems, when you talk about education systems, private is competition breeds the better product.
yeah,
Ricky, what were
one
you
is
saying?
actually doing something and the other is launching celebrities. So
yeah, true.
What were you
I
saying?
was just gonna say they should get in some niggas like us and shoot us up there. I'm just still on that point.
Yeah,
That's all.
everyday
Hold up.
people
Just
in
so you know,
space.
Antonio Brown's ass is going to be up there before we know it.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, cracker of the week, everybody on that rock.
You know, and that'll be like when it's like funnier, but like the problem is like when they do it and it seems like such a stunt. Like Gayle King, I hadn't heard of her in forever, but she's going up.
Right.
You know, like it's such an odd.
Yeah, until I
thing.
heard Oprah mentioned with her name, I actually forgot who she was.
Yeah, honestly, like you know, and then like Megyn Kelly's point was perfect. Like it's just Bezos' wife wanted to make a few friends, and it's like,
yeah, I want to be friends with Katy Perry.
yeah, you know, and it's like
She seems fun.
But I'm supposed to sit here and be like, man, that was like so incredible what they did. They bought a ticket to
Wait,
go on.
hold on. Let's keep theme of the entire day. It's so incredible what they did. But I swear to God, if you spend today at all commemorating Jackie Robinson, you are not doing enough. This is damning.
Katy Perry sounded like the lady that would write the article saying we don't do enough for Jackie Robinson.
Right.
That's what I thought when I heard her speaking, bro.
I'm not going to say roar because it's not about me, but I'm also only up here to show you my set list because it's not about me. But I swear to God, if you commemorate Jackie Robinson, it's not enough.
And that was the thing. That's why, like, when like I didn't mean to get like so passionate about it, but that's why when I was like, this is stupid. Like, this is dumb. Like, like those same people that wrote the Jackie article are like, this is empowering. It's like,
right.
They bought literally a ticket to the Top Thrill Dragster just for like super
The
wealthy
toughest
people.
thrill.
Yeah, the most wealthiest people. Literally, if you think about it, that's literally what the ride was. Up, down. That
Cedar
was it.
Point's like, dang, why didn't we
Dang,
do
they
that?
did it higher than us. How do we do that?
They didn't go halfway up and come crashing back down.
You know, that's,
Cedar
so
Point
that's
jokes.
that's why like it just like annoyed me because I'm just like, oh, okay, like sure, it's a cool step for what that company, knowing that that's what Blue Origin's trying to do. It's like, sure, you got to do steps like this, but don't do a step like this and then be like brave, stunning, and brave. No, it sounds like they bought a ticket to your ride.
I think they should do Seven Dwarfs. That'd be cool. When we
Peter
haven't had, there hasn't been one up there.
No, you can't
You
because
did
Peter Dinklage would be like, no.
No, I did
He would
nothing.
have no real reason, just no.
This
Actually,
I
I would
isn't
love
a special moment. I am a man. I am just a man.
Dude, I'm not gonna say
I know.
No. You don't know my joke. My joke was I was thinking of like them walking out, ringing the bell, but like I didn't want to say that. 'cause, like, so the camera was on me.
They just do
you know.
Quasimodo.
So you know, so is it cool? Sure, but like there's such like a.
But okay, I make the joke. It's hyperbolic. It's crazy. Why would he say that? But it's a joke to really pick at the point of like, you're going to sit here and make me be impressed about Katy Perry, like women in space. The women have been in space.
Yes.
Y'all left an old lady in space for 9 months.
Wait,
And
Russia-
she's an educated doctorate astronaut.
Yep.
That not only is an accolade that she made it to space, she's also a brilliant idol for ladies and women and girls everywhere.
Right.
So it's like, It's already been done. Get a wiener dog up there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be psyched. I'll be like, there's Missy. There's my dog. She did it.
You know.
She did it. There's the first of many. It's such a great point. Ricky's dying over there.
Well, dude, and really, the U.S. has never sent just like a woman into space. Like Russia sent the first woman into space, and she was all on her own.
Hold up. Sorry, Doug, you're so smart. You're so good.
Thank you.
Truth be told, I almost left this episode without the fact. So you're going to say this crew that was like a checked baggage claim is groundbreaking because it's the first female crew, when technically that's already happened. The first all-female crew for real was in 1963, Valentina Tereshkova, whose solo trip into space orbited the Earth 48 times. Like Roger, like Jackie Robinson, this
barrier
is the person worth.
She forced the Americans to actually like consider. Now it took a long time for NASA to bring women in, but that was like when they started bringing women into more stuff in the U.S. because we're like, oh crap, they just beat us in a PR stunt.
And funny enough, like in the show, like, you know, like For All Mankind, like they touch on that, like they show that, and then immediately NASA's like, we got to send up women.
The whole, oh
like,
my God, yeah, Alex, we talk about
this season. They're like, the next mission has to be all women.
Yeah, Alex, we talk about this. You really need to watch For All Mankind. I really think you'd like it because it has little bits of real history.
Honestly,
mixed in with the alternate.
Doug on this more and more because we talk about space a lot on the show, like space exploration, and like you do kind of get like an interesting idea, and like if like the United States really tripled down and
really
like, the space
tried,
program, you know, and that's why it's like interesting. So like it comes back to like this whole thing. Like again, that woman actually broke barriers, actually changed like the way space travel could be viewed,
right?
You know,
and
then
we're talking
you just
about
have
Katy Perry,
and that exactly, and that's like the annoying thing. And again, Blue Origin, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to create tourism for space, and that's great because like at some point, like we should have that. We should want that. You know, if we're trying to go up to Mars, we should at least be able to travel to the moon and send people up there for like a vacation, you know? Don't look at me though and say like, oh, that was like an amazing, stunning feat they did. They didn't do anything. They just kind of hang around. And did they really only go up for 10 minutes or were you being facetious?
10 minutes, dude. That's been the celebration. 10 minutes.
That's what I mean. Like if you were to be like, no, they were up there for like 10 hours. It's
like
all
again,
right.
We're being critical. We're being harsh. Dude, I'm not trying to take away from that's probably the coolest 10 minutes any human has ever experienced.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
And then you crash into a desert.
Yeah.
But like
you could work out
before
the kinks.
that, you can work out the kinks. I'd rather be coddled by dolphins. Put me as the last three have.
Even if they're CGI.
You can AI the dolphins in, just don't AI the water. This is crazy, dude.
It's a giant fireball with water AI around it.
I feel like we owe it to closing out this episode. Can we watch that one more time? Like, there's something to the lady just going, and don't mind the little puff of dust. It's gonna be a puff of dust, and it's just poof poof. Hey, Doug, that wasn't it. I know.
User error.
Doug does a pretty good job. I gotta hand it.
Parachutes. There go the drogue parachutes.
Just free falling right there until those
just
drogues
wait.
came out.
And then next will be the main parachutes that get pulled out.
That's second.
That's screaming inside the capsule.
And all three parachutes reefing, and they will slowly inflate, slowing the capsule to a nice, smooth 10, 15 miles an hour. They are cruising back home.
3 good parachutes.
And I tell you, Kristen, from having gone through all of the simulations, I have gone through all of the training. They put you in the capsule that simulates all of this, including the sounds. And when you hear the motors of the parachutes pop out, that is the best moment in flight.
Here we
You
go.
will see a puff of smoke when
Puff.
it touches down.
Puff of smoke.
Of dust.
That should be
That's normal.
A puff of dust.
Here's the puff. Puff of dust.
Air cushion that will kick
Air
up the
cushion.
dust. It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
screaming, dude. I just love. It's gonna be a little puff of smoke,
little air burst,
a little
And then the
puff
minute
of
they-
dust.
Step out immediately. Where are my dogs? That's what I mean. That's why it's like it's hard for me to take it that serious. I'm just glad they made it safe.
Here's the takeaway: dogs are so crucial, important, and necessary. Like, dude, I could crash into the earth with the worst day of work ever, and I come home to my dog, and it's like it never existed. Like the billionaire bank account that porks me doesn't even exist,
bro.
Give me the dog, bruh.
Dogs in America get treated better than a lot of people in the world. Okay, dogs in America get treated better than a lot of people in the world.
Can we criticize Doug again? Only because we're having so much fun with it. Doug, how did you almost let us leave this topic without your Wendy's article? You know, Doug gets off with, he sends us about a quadrillion articles a week. Like you get buried in a bazillion articles.
We're calling them Doug's Dumps from now on.
Doug's Dumps. And the problem is Doug lives for his topics being picked in the show. What you guys don't see is when his topics get picked and we close, it'll be like, see, aren't you glad I sent 2 of my topics were today? And you're like, yes, Doug. And
I earned my title.
And then when Doug has none of his topics picked, he's a bit of a sourpuss. He gets upset. He's like, well, you know, I said some good ones this week, and, you know, I didn't know about that other one, but it's okay. So
Man, I appreciate Doug. Thank you.
Listen,
I stopped looking for news.
Doug.
Once Doug joined the chat, I literally stopped looking up news because Doug find all the fucking news, bro.
I just let him come.
Yep. Yes. Let Doug.
Doug's data dumps.
And well, I love at one point it was like, you guys stopped responding. It was like, dude, there's 1,000. And now it's just like he anticipates. No one's responding. I'm just throwing it to the ethos. I just want to make you aware. And if it catches your fancy, make it a topic. Well, Doug ironically picked a perfect article for the Blue Origin topic. And it's the best send-off for the topic today. So everybody knows Wendy's has the best Twitter account. They are out here killing.
They on
game.
top of it.
And look at Doug. They're out here appreciating you big
people
time.
love me.
So the Wendy's wears the crown behind Antonio Brown for the best Twitter account. And there was this tweet here of how Katy Perry has returned from space. And Wendy's is like, well, can we send her back? Can we send her back? And the best troll to double down on such a great tweet, Kesha out here sipping some Wendy's.
And it brings me back to the whole like the preachiness of it. Then when you get back and you're like, oh my God, it was an enlightening experience. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure. Don't look at us and be like, you should do it.
Right.
You know we can't do it.
Listen, I buy 5 nuggets for $1.
Literally.
That's my life. I'm laughing with the Wendy's account.
She's saying that as if Gayle King's ticket wasn't bought by another person.
Right.
Oprah.
Yeah. Who's she? I wonder how much she's got in the bank. She probably rivals Dr. Evil that was watching them go up.
She's got the space lasers. She's like, go up there and tell me they're still working. I got a couple more islands in Hawaii I need to get rid of.
Then Gayle was like, it's only a 10-minute ride. She's like, oh, shit. Next time we'll send up Shatner again.
Yeah. She's like, hey, Elon, can she get stuck for 9 months? Just, I'll settle for 8. Buy me some time.
Yeah, a little bit of a
squirrel.
Sends her up there. I just need like 6 months without her around. That's all I need.
Just 6 months. Just 6 months. I gotta get my stuff in order. Well, all I know is now I want a junior bacon.
Yeah, I really want some Wendy's. I won't lie.
Right?
That $5 biggie bag hits.
$5 biggie bag. And, well, you're going to need about 5 million more of those.
You want to know what's great is we're talking about Wendy's $5 biggie bag, and Wendy's tweeted at Katy Perry, and Katy Perry is like, I would never afford Wendy's.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is the plebes that are paying $5 for chicken nuggets are like, you're going to tell me I should go up there? We're eating pink paste turned chicken nuggets.
And you know what? They're damn good with some barbecue sauce, man.
That's
Wendy's nuggets are bomb.
Okay.
The spicy one slaps.
See,
yeah, there we go.
Facts. I'm not denying it.
Hey, we all agree on something at the end.
That's why we're leaving the studio and getting Wendy's. All right. We appreciate you all joining us. Let me bring in Ricky one last time here. From the Pickle Gallery, we appreciate you joining us, Ricky. Tell them where they could find you.
Hey, Just Another Day TV, man. Thursday, new video part 2 coming out. Colombia. We at the fucking island. And we outside as usual, man. Bless up to everyone. Merch.
Yeah, and he's got the Rethink Action shirt on. I absolutely love it. Be sure to check out the new episode that's coming out this week because the first part was a great time. His vlogs, living vicariously through Ricky's gallivant across the planet, has been nothing but exciting. So be sure to check out Just Another Day TV and the awesome content. You know, I've been loving the vlogs. Him and Silent too. They've been killing it. So don't miss it. But otherwise, guys, we appreciate you joining us. We do this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I am going to be gallivanting across the globe this time. Mm-hmm. So the crew in the studio are going to be holding down the fort. So they'll be here. Rethink Tank doesn't miss a beat. And I got to thank the people that surround us and keep this thing drumming.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes. See, we may give Doug a hard time, but there is no Rethink Tank without all you guys. So be sure to catch us even just this next week. We'll be here live every Tuesday. But like I said, Doug and I also have our Sunday show, our reactions channel, which is on Rethink Actions. Just if our space talk here interested you at all, you really would like the last Sunday's episode where we take a look at the crypto billionaires as they take, I think it's like 48 or 52, something like that, trips around the earth, and a significant portion of them being across the poles, which is a new sight for mankind, the layman, the human, they call it, because we're not astronauts. But again, totally awesome experience. So if you like that, go check it out. We've got new episodes there every Sunday, except for the next 2 Sundays, because I'm on a gallivant. But we also have the podcast, the Rethink Tank podcast, which had our episode from the last episode. We had Akifa Atak, who is a medical attorney. She's into brain chips and AI and all of this brilliance. And then everybody in the comments are just getting distracted by her glowing beauty because she's running for Miss Florida as well. So an episode that's taken off. But if you're looking for one central place where you can find all of this great content, go and check it out at the rethinktankpodcast.com, where you could find all the different shows, all the different channels. But otherwise, guys, if we made you laugh, if we made you think, the best thing you can do to support the show is hit that like button. If you liked it, that means someone else you know would too. So be sure to share the link, because that's how you support what we're doing here. But otherwise, guys, like we said, we're here every week, and we'd love to catch you next time. So see you next week. Peace.